What's poppin', my family? Glad you guys are here with me, man. No doubt. A lot of stuff to talk about right now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff going on in hip-hop. During this time of quarantine and COVID-19 and coronavirus and all of that, a lot of stuff going on in hip-hop, man. So we're just going to talk about it. Basically, you know, we're going to talk about everything that's going on in hip-hop, things going on in hip-hop this week. You know what I mean? So listen, if you want to join me in this video chat, join me in the video chat, man. It's whereby.com/frontstoop. Come get your talk on as we talk about everything that's going on this week, man. My man Guillermo is just joining me in the chat. Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Hold on, let me mute this other video guide of you. Chilling, man. Working on the channel, man. Working on some Photoshop stuff, man. It is tough, man.
Yeah.
For any of you digital artists out there, man, salute to you guys, because this stuff is painful, man. I've been through Photoshop. I've been trying to use Illustrator as well, using not just Photoshop. What the hell is this other one called? Lord Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. The PR one. Premiere, Adobe Premiere.
Oh, Adobe Premiere, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to develop this. It's just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble with the if I do this for the channel, but I'm trying to use the Patrick Ewing. You remember he had his hands up, like that, his back turned, and the crazy lights, like. So I'm trying to basically cut that out and then mess with the image where it's like you can get you either see the Nick colors or you see, like, you know, all these things about the Knicks, like these words where you can kind of put them within the picture and kind of create an image. So it's not going to be Patrick Ewing itself. I mean, the image is of that, but
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? And here's the only thing I say is a lot of people, they do kind of do what you're doing, right? Oh, I want to make sure it's right when it comes out. And I would say get started in doing it, develop it as it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because
don't get bogged down too much in it.
Because for the most part, you know, people like on YouTube and stuff, they like to see the channel grow with you, you know? Real talk.
You know, I have so much stuff lined up with it. I have all the clips. I have the beginning of my stuff that I want to send you, but I at least want to get this down. I'm gonna send you this stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I understand where you come from, where people want to see it. You know, yeah, man. But at least just to have it. I mean, we have so much time now. You know, God willing, everybody gets back to work and coronavirus thing kind of weighs down. But at least that while I can work from home, kind of, I'm trying to just bang a lot of this extra stuff out, because everything else, and at least the narration for my first video, all that stuff is like basically down packed. The stats I got, that's down packed. I probably need to order a new mic because I don't know how the hell thing's gonna work out. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
And I can tell you, like, the stuff that you can order, you know, to really get started and not cost too much money. You know, to get you started, you already got a laptop, $200 tops. You get started with really good quality, really good pictures, you know, video and all that stuff, man. $200 tops. Okay.
Yeah, just send me the stuff email wise, and if you give me also recommendation on a mic, because I don't know, I've been looking at I don't know if you probably ordered from here before. It's called B&H, and I ordered from here for a lot of other camera stuff, and they got electronics out the wazoo, but I just like some of their mics are kind of crazy expensive, so. Right. If anybody there knows like good mics,
I'm gonna tell you a really good mic to get started with that costs you about $100 or less.
Okay, that's fine.
It's called the Blue Yeti. Right, the Blue Yeti. Matter of fact, when we're at the games and we do and we're streaming live, that blue microphone that I have, that's the Blue Yeti. And
I'm seeing someone.
It's basically plug and play, man. You plug it into your laptop. It has a jack for your headphones, right? So you plug it into your laptop, then you jack it into your headphones, so you can hear all the sound through your headphones. All the sounds come through the Blue Yeti. It's like your Blue Yeti is it's almost like a sound card as well, microphone and a sound card. And there's a few different settings, you know, for the microphone, so you can have a few different sounds to your microphone depending on what your acoustics are like. That right there, that'll set you up to have good sound. And then you're gonna want a good web camera, Web.
Yeah, I have the one you told me about. It's over there. The
Okay,
one you
so
like clip onto the.
Yep, a Logitech. You get a
Yep.
good camera, and then make sure your lighting is good, and you're good to go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
All
You're
right.
good to
Cool.
go.
Cool. Yeah,
So
I'm a order the Yeti tonight. I'm seeing it on B&H right now. So
yeah, so they have two sizes now. They have a big one. That one's a little cheaper. It's probably $99. Then they have a smaller one
the
now.
Nano, right?
That's made a little bit so that you can transport it a little bit better. Because the Blue Yeti is the one that I have is heavy to transport. The other one is a little bit smaller. So I don't know how much that one costs. Maybe $50 more or something like that.
Well, they have. I'm looking at it right now, and they got the Nano. They got I guess, a regular Blue Yeti USB microphone.
Yeah,
A bunch of cool colors in it. They got the $99 one, and that's the Nano one, multi-pattern, and it looks a little bit smaller than what you were saying. So
yeah. So yeah. So the Nano is probably it's the same thing as the Yeti. It's just smaller. You're gonna get the same quality and stuff too. So.
all right, cool. I'm ordering right now because it's actually, some of these things are back ordered. So I'm gonna just get this gold one, which is the only one that's available. But how you doing, man? Everything good?
Good, man. I'm good. I was outside of my yard all day, building a freaking basketball court.
Nice.
Out of stone. So, just digging up the grass and putting. I mean, we already got the hoop and everything. Digging up the grass and putting in the court, and then we're using. So we got 12 by 12 stones, and then we got smaller. I don't know, 4 by 6 stones that are going to be used for the foul line and the lane and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So we're putting that in a little area just where you're going to just be used to play ball.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually ran for the first time in weeks yesterday, and I was like winded. I ran to like my old area, Barclays, and then back. That's like 2.2 miles, and I was winded. I said, "Oh my gosh, I got to do so." I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I just got to get like doing push-ups and stuff. And calisthenics is cool, but like I can't jump all the way. I can't, if I jump, I make way too much noise. Even though my annoying neighbor upstairs was freaking playing music at fucking, excuse my language, sorry, he was playing music at 8 a.m. on Thursday. I'm like, dude, I had to text her. I'm like, dude, like, come on. Right. And she said, all right, my bad. I'm like, but even if I shouldn't have to tell you at 8 a.m., like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Yikes.
And that's what happens, man. That's what happens. You're home and just things start to kind of eat at you and get at you, right?
Yeah. You start going crazy.
Yeah, just little things, right? Because I don't know what time you go to work, but I'm not going to say she does that every day, but she might do it from time to time, but you're at work or something like that. You don't know. Who knows?
You know what's crazy, Sim? I what's crazy? I wake up around, usually, I try to wake up around like 7. I may get up at like 7:15. I'm in the shower playing YouTube videos. And like, that's honestly the only place where you should hear anybody else. So that's what the dealers told me, like, when you're in the back, because the vents is kind of like, it's all connected, but otherwise you shouldn't hear other people's noise unless you're in the bathroom. Right. So I'm in there, I'm thinking like, oh damn, I got to turn down my YouTube or like, if I'm on Bloomberg, something to just get like me started, news, whatever. And then I hear her she's playing like some trap, and she kept playing it so Thursday I was just like, dude. And it's one of these hipster girls, you wouldn't know they would like trap and all this music. You unless, at least from the outside, you're like, oh, you like this? And she's playing all this crap. And like, if it was 12 p.m., I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I'm up. Once I'm up, I don't care. Like, I can sleep to music, but waking up, I don't. I dread waking up. So
yeah,
I don't know. And you're right. Like, she probably one of these people. She probably works from home. Probably has a nice little trust fund. She don't got to work crazy. So I'm here, and I felt kind of bad, but it's like, dude, come on, be a little.
I hear
mindful,
you, man. I hear you. So, but listen, during this time, hey, I got to say, like, hip-hop culture is keeping us entertained. A lot
for
of stuff
better or
happening.
For worse, man. There's some things that are good, and there's some things that are like, come on, yo, man. I know you might get to it. My cousin and my brother sent me that stupid Drake song. I couldn't stop laughing at how bad, to me, it's such a TikTok. You don't, and then you have Young Chop just talking trash, and then on the good side, you got these little beat battles between his producers, which I think is really cool. Like T-Pain, I think you're playing it. He played some Chris Brown thing. I was like, "Is this a song?" And I think I put in the chat like, "Yo, is that a song that's out? I've never heard this song before."
It's not out. So what happened is at the end of that battle, they started playing some unreleased stuff.
And I looked and I tried to search it up, and it was like, oh yeah, just released like maybe a few days ago. But it's like, people take the song and like they kind of bootleg it. So I think he played it before, but maybe not for a lot of people, because there's a video on YouTube where it just has Chris Brown's face, but it's still an older video. And I'm like, bro, first of all, to me, I know people may not. I like Chris Brown, and I know he's not the most mute, but it's just something about, like, as an entertainer, I always like his. For some reason, I always tend to just like his music. And I just like his, like, personality. It's just this, kind of, I know he's, the whole drug stuff or whatever, but, and the Rihanna thing, but I don't know, just something about him, like, he just has fun with his music. And I know the Rihanna thing kind of taken away from that, but I just enjoy that, like, he's not trying too hard to impress you. He still dances. He's still, you know what I mean? And that song with him and T-Pain, bro, if there's not one dude in the industry who is being softly blackballed, I mean, it has to be T-Pain, because the dude can produce. I mean, this guy's had hits after hits after hits. And, he told the story of how, like, a bunch of producers and Kanye West kind of clowned him in the studio and stuff. And in my head, I'm just like, why? Like, the dude is talented. He seems like he's just fun to be around. All his songs are, like, they're fun.
And that's what I was about to say. Not to mention, he just seems like a good dude.
Yeah. Did you ever see his
fun-loving dude?
When they do the thing at the desk, when they have, like, damn, it's not NPR. What the hell is this thing? It's like a bunch of artists where they go and they have, like, a live band, but it's like in a library type of setting, or like a coffee cafe library.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he did one thing without the auto tunes. Son, when I'm telling this boy could sing, when he could sing, I'm telling you, he could sing, bro.
He actually did a song last night without auto tune. I don't think anybody heard it. He played it. Song last night. Last night. He did a song last night without auto-tune. Because he said, people always asking, we want to hear T-Pain without auto-tune, da-da-da-da-da. And so he played something. It's hard to hear everything because it's a stream, you know what I mean? So you can't hear everything as clear as you would like it to hear, but it sounded pretty good.
I like you. Those two, man, I like them, man. I have no problem with the music whatsoever. And it's not even like my favorite type of music, but it's a nice escapism. Like, at least I know he did the whole auto tune thing, but he tries to have fun with his songs, and it's different, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, like, hip hop music started off just having fun, right? That's where it started, having fun, and then of course it went in different directions and stuff like that. But we can never forget just having good, clean fun with the music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, but this what's it called? The Tootsie Slide.
Oh my gosh, what's it called? Come on. Yeah, the
Tootsie Slide. I haven't even heard it. All I did is see it, and I was like, "What is this?"
Gonna probably play this trash.
All I did is see it. I haven't heard it.
Sim, how do you take the when people talk about Drake, right? This is what I don't like. People like to compare him and say he's the best rapper, blah, blah. But then when you point out that he has writers, that when he's left his own devices, he's not anything special. People try to say, whoa, they try to redefine what an MC or what a rapper is. And shout out to Royce the 5'9". He was on another show. That's actually good. I like the one that has Math Hoff on it. Oh my, why am I there's one where they have like bad rappers, but sometimes they have rappers and other people. I'm losing freaking. It's a Math Hoffa show, and he was like, "Look, if you want to call Drake, if you like Drake, that's cool." And he wasn't even issue, but he was like, "You can't call him an MC." And I'm watching this stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's probably hard to get a whole bunch of writers together and travel out now with the whole Corona thing. And maybe the song is older in terms of when it was written or whatever, but bruh, I mean, you took the electric slide, you took the that shuffle, do the right, that song, I can't remember that song it's called, and you like condensed it, and because you know that you're hot, you're on top or whatever, like basically you have a bunch of people just can keep pushing music because you're basically industry now. You pull off this crap, like, and I understand, like, he's doing it for TikTok, but when people talk about Drake as an MC, how can he be considered this top MC when literally all his songs are corny money grabs? Like, he is what, and this is what my favorite comedian Patrice O'Neal said, and he said about Cars Mencia used to steal jokes, right? He said that one thing that joke thieves are scared to do, why they're not real comedians, is that they're scared to fail, and they always got to win, right? So they just win at no cost. And the thing with Drake is, like, he already got exposed for his child thing. So all the stuff about, oh, the girl, this, I'm hurt. It's like, well, dude, you were trying to hide your child away from. You already got exposed by Pusha T from that. You can keep doing those songs, but it's like when you look at Drake, it's he never wants to fail. So he'll make songs that are always gonna win no matter what. And I don't know if people understand what I mean by that. It's like he will never dig deep and try to make a song that it might go really well or it might do really bad because this is really him and he's testing out stuff. Like we can talk about Jadakiss, talk about Jadakiss one. I don't like his last album, but at least I give him respect that he tried other stuff. Now you can say if it's him trying to follow this or do this, but at least it was somewhat of his own stuff per se, right? It's not him doing a bunch of trap beats and stuff. This 2C slide, Slim, I mean, this is for middle America moms who want to learn how to, be cool and hip. This is for the little girls in middle school and freshman, sophomore year in high school who still love Drake. Oh my gosh, and they're stuck at home. But to hip hop, so-called hip hop heads, even to people who like trap and drill, this is corny. This is corny, man. Go to those people, the Brooklyn Drill 5-Yo. They got their little Brooklyn Drill dance, whatever. Even that is better than that. Millie Rock way better than this. This crap, Sim.
I haven't heard it. I'm gonna listen to it and then do a video with my opinion on it. I haven't heard it at all yet. I don't know, but during this time, a lot of stuff, like you said, the beat battles. The other day, Scott Storch and Manny Fresh.
Manny Fresh. I missed it. I gotta go watch that one because I only watched like the 2 seconds at the beginning.
It was a dope battle, but I kind of don't think it was fair. And the reason why
won?
Scott Storch won. The reason why I don't think it was fair is because like Scott Storch should have been going up against Swizz Beatz or Timbaland or something like that. To me, Manny Fresh is like a regional, like I'm messing with dudes from my region.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Even though he could, I'm not saying that he couldn't go outside of his region, but I just feel like that's what he wants to do. I mess with dudes from my region. Where Scott Storch kind of does everything for anybody, right? So I feel like he should have, that should have been like Scott Storch and Swizz Beatz or Scott Storch and Timbaland or Kanye.
Scott Storch and Timbaland would have been cool, yeah.
Scott Storch and Timbaland would have been dope. I saw the
one with Alchemist. Alchemist, they tried to put him against Madlib. He said, no, Madlib is, he would dust me. And it's great. Again, they're two of my top 5 producers of all time. Madlib, the thing that's scary about Madlib, because he's a producer's producer. If you ever listen to like the Beat Conductor, where he's using like these esoteric beats from like deep in India, the dude went to Brazil in the early 2000s, was just like crazy, and he got me into a lot of guys like Arthur Veracai. He got me into a lot of art like Tim Maya. He got me into a lot of him and MF Doom, but they got me into a lot of artists like outside of rap and typical American R&B, man. If you guys want to listen to good music, go listen to Arthur Veracai. I think the album's called 1983, and it's where like Doom got a lot of his beats and stuff. Like, bruh, I'm telling you, there are people outside, and it's from his years ago. Arthur Veracai is fairly old now, but when you expand your mind to the music, man, and like for the simple fact when they try to put him up against Madlib, all those ideas, like Madlib is. He is an alien in terms. Like, people try to hype up Kanye West like he knows all. No. Madlib, when I'm talking about, he experiments and plucks from here. He hears different wavelengths and frequencies within music that we just sit there and be like, and he'll cut and sample something and find the bass and the hi-hat and all this weird stuff. And bruh, I give it to Alchemist. He's still on my top 5, but he would have got dusted. But I would have loved to see that. I still want to see Madlib against somebody, but I don't know if anybody's gonna go against him. But I love these beat battles,
as this
man.
thing continues,
I gotta check out the ones
as it continues to go and get bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? More people are, more people will jump in. Of course, T-Pain and Lil Jon did their thing last night. I think I didn't even mean to have that up there at that moment. I think Swizz Beatz also had lined up. Peep this. He had lined up Teddy Riley and Babyface to go round for round to go head to head in the 20-round beat battle. It's been postponed, but that's a dope one.
you're gonna have Quiet Storm versus that sultry R&B. Ooh,
that's a dope one right there.
I would love to see that.
Teddy Riley and Babyface.
Teddy Riley is stupid underrated.
Yeah. So
if you're talking about not Quiet Storm, sorry, not Quiet Storm. What the hell is this one? Aaron Hall, late '80s, early '90s. It's not Quiet Storm. It's you know the style of rap, the style of music. And they had like the snazzy suits, like in all same color. Damn it! What the hell is this thing called?
What do you mean?
The genre of music that Teddy Riley's known for. It's not Quiet Storm. I don't know why I thought Quiet Storm's actually more. You could say Babyface is more Quiet Storm R&B-ish.
New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing. Thank you.
Yeah. He got the whole New Jack Swing thing going on. So that should be. It's been postponed, but that should be pretty dope whenever it happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're angling. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's done on Instagram Live. I don't know if they're angling to try to get this to be something that's, done, produced, with better cameras, this and that and this and that. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but it's pretty dope though.
Triborough's bugging. So he said Babyface had to postpone because he realized the slow jams wouldn't beat New Jack Swing. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
There's some ridiculously good New Jack Swing, but then also you have to realize Teddy Riley went more the Babyface route. Remember, Let's Chill with Guy. Let's chill. That's not New Jack Swing. Right. That's R&B.
So, I mean, we'll see. I'll be looking forward to that one, and we'll see how many people. Man. And then, of course, you got more independent artists. Evergreen, Evergreen, right? Evergreen did his own little beat battle just before T-Pain and Lil Jon did theirs. He did it on his Instagram
Evergreen
live.
from
NBK, yeah.
Who did he go up against?
He did against somebody, another independent producer.
This is on YouTube?
It's on Instagram Live.
Can you send? All right, what's his IG handle?
Yeah, I'll send it to you because I'm not exactly sure what his. Let me see. See if I can find it. It's Evergreen_G6.
Evergreen_G6.
Yep. He had the Battle of I-95. It was I can't read the other dude's name because it blends in with the background color.
Oh, Raleigh the Beats.
Yeah, versus Evergreen. It was yesterday at 7 p.m. So, okay. I mean, the whole thing is just popping off with, with things that are going on. And then you got it's not just the beat battles, right? You got DJs going on and DJing for hours and hours. You know what I'm saying? Just doing live sets on Instagram Live for hours and hours. It's pretty dope, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
It's pretty dope. Cool. So we're getting some good stuff out of this, and then of course, more and more rappers are using Instagram Live to just jump on and talk about whatever they want. Just talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just chill with their fans, talk to their fans. It's a whole new face to it, and then especially with this going down the way it is, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of going to a new level because they don't got nothing. All they can do is sit in the crib. Now, you might have some of them who, have studios in the crib and, have the ability to actually produce themselves. And so, they can still send music back and forth and things like that. But for a lot of them, it's like, yo, I can't do nothing. I can't go to the studio. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I'm going to just connect with the fans. You know what I'm saying?
You see, I mean, and one last thing on Drake. Because he can't get his 70, 80 writers to come there, like I said, he has to produce songs like the Tootsie Slide. So all the real producers and artists, man, who are putting stuff on for fans to enjoy. I mean, say what you want about some of these older producers, but when you see them put some of these beats together, man, and some of these songs are songs that they probably thought were throwaways, and you hear how intricate. Like if you listen to the beginning of that Timbaland Swiss Beats battle, I mean, they were playing some songs obviously I never heard. And I mean, these beats were some of these beats were kind of lovely, man. I was just like, you always be like, damn, who rejected this beat? Like, who did they try to push this beat to and they rejected? Like, I know Kanye West for, before Life of Pablo, he rejected a bunch of Madlib beats, and I'm just like, for a guy who's so musically inclined, but obviously sometimes it just doesn't mix and match. But I think he did No More Parties in LA beat. I can't remember. I gotta check it out. But yeah, man, this is all interesting, man. It's just fun, good times. Within the overall
within the bad time, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but, Good times within the bad time, and then Benny the Butcher, he went live yesterday, yesterday, I think it was, and he announced some stuff when he went live, right? And one of the things that he announced that I'm really excited for. And I'm just gonna play it so you can hear it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna play it, and then you tell me what you think of it. All right. So just listen up here.
Benny and Nas collab would be crazy. The Benny and Nas collab is on my phone right now, produced by Hit Boy. I never played it though. I never played it for nobody though. Well, I played it. Everybody heard it. Everybody around me. I never played it publicly though. I can't play it on live because it'll be on YouTube, and I'm not about to do that.
All right, so Gammo, you heard that, right?
You know what's crazy, Sim? I salute those guys, man, because I hope those three guys are forcing rappers to get back on their grind again, man. I hope he was in a booth, and I hope when Nas spat, his verse or whatever, he was like, nah, you gotta go harder. Like, Nas is a dude that he's like a sleeping giant, right? You gotta have to like poke him with the sword to be like, hey, like somebody wants to challenge you. So I mean, when Nas is challenged, and don't get me wrong, he's one of the greatest of all time. But when he's challenged, he can go crazy. So I hope he's looking at these guys from Buffalo, and he's like, damn, they kind of taking over the game. I understand I'm kind of in that, the golden type of age of my life. I'm just chilling right now, but hopefully he got in the booth and spat something crazy. Because also, again, they got some good production. Derringer, maybe, I don't know if Derringer produced it, but they got good production. So
yeah, here's the thing: they got production that's gonna fit 94 Nas, basically.
Yes,
right? Yeah. They got production that is gonna fit 94 Nas. Like they got
yes.
They got production that's gonna be I can't even think of the name of the song now.
They're gonna have camouflage Nas type right. Feeling, man. I can kind of see that.
What's the joint that Nas was on with? I can't think of the name of it.
Which one is what? Second, first
wisdom
album?
With the system that imprisoned my son. I can't think of the name of the song right now.
With the Raekwon.
It's Raekwon
and
Ghostface. What'd you say?
Verbal intercourse.
Verbal intercourse. They got that. And that's the Nas that I would expect to come up with.
Oh,
that's the Nas that I would expect to come with. Really.
I'm hoping, because their beats are too gritty for Nas to kind of like sit back and be, and not gonna say lazy, but just kind of be like, I'm just going with the flow. They do got that sound and I hope it's one of that faster stuff. But again, if it's either two things, right? Either got the faster stuff or they got the heavy sample stuff. And that's more West Side Guns type of flow, where he got just crazy, just stupid old school samples, meshing some crazy beat. Either way, it got to be some hard stuff by Nas. It can't be, kind of just taking life, as it is. It got to be some hard. My man's still locked up, still talking to dudes from the bench. His body's so it has to be something.
I can guarantee it will be.
And Benny Butcher, and that's one thing I like about Benny Butcher. I think he's not saying it, but he really cares about rap, because like when you hear him flow, you could feel him putting effort into it, and then he'll sometimes change up the cadence a little bit, even though it still sounds like Benny. You know what I mean? Like like what's that song? Like the song I just listened to, it was a Crown the Kings or something like that, with the sample. Ooh, I don't know what the sample is, but that's how the beat goes. And it's like, damn, like, if you don't, I don't know how you can't like those dudes from Buffalo. If they were from any other place, maybe they'll be bigger or even bigger than what they are now. But yeah, salute to those guys, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Buffalo doesn't have, they basically put Buffalo on the map as far as hip hop is concerned. You know what I'm saying?
Tribo said Nas not his Escobar bag anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at that, and I understand what he's saying, right? Like Nas doesn't, he doesn't talk drug rap and this and that anymore. But this is what Nas does. He doesn't really talk it. He either tells a story about something that happened back in the day. It doesn't have to be a real story, but either tell some kind of story or, even when he did Thief's Theme, right? The hook was looking back on my old life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way he kind of does it. So, and I really respect that because obviously he's not there and he doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He's at some another point in his life. So when he does talk about it, he always goes back and like, I'm remembering, or I'm talking about my old life, or I'm talking about this and that. He kind of says that, you know what I mean? And I think that's what he would do. You know, he would put it that way. If anyone can come up with a way to make it, listen, obviously you guys know I'm a huge Nas fan, but like things I'm talking about is the reason getting married sound hard on a track. And stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the only person that can do stuff like that like, he'd do something totally different than anybody else. And you'd be like, damn, like, he really made that sound like it was kind of hard, though.
The thing about Nas is that, again, he has so many... The Escobar sound was, Street Dreams remix, low profile, rap style, slick as new now. That's different from the Raekwon Verbal Intercourse Nas, because Verbal Intercourse Nas was what, 94, right?
90, yeah. Well, I don't know when it was recorded, but 94.
After with the Mafioso, that's a different Nas. So right. Nas had different personas up his sleeve, man. Like
Nas has had different. There's been so many different reincarnations of Nas. It's crazy, right?
It's crazy. He don't even get credit for that. Like,
I mean, bro,
it's crazy. Nas might be he might be one of the top 5 greatest rappers, and then underrated with regards to people going to look back at Nas and then they're going to study him. And I mean, they're already doing it now, right? Like guys like Akala from UK already gave him, and they talk about how they study him and like Wu-Tang and stuff. But Nas, in terms of like some of the stuff he says, and because I know the whole beat crap, so mainstream fans may not appreciate him, but Nas is, I'm telling you, boy, that boy is. I mean, if you can have a resurgence with these Buffalo dudes, man, I won't complain about rap.
Yeah,
for a while, man.
He had from Live at the Barbecue Nas, right? You had that dude, right? And then of course you had Illmatic Nas, and then from Illmatic Nas he started going into the Mafioso Nas on It Was Written.
Yep.
And I Am Kinda. Right, and then Nostradamus, while people don't like the album and everything, but that was a more introspective guy. And then he went from that to Stillmatic, where that was, I don't know what it was.
What would you call Stillmatic? Yeah, what would you call Stillmatic?
I don't know what persona. If he had a persona at that time, I don't know. I don't know. During that time, that was the whole. I guess that was his, I don't want to say rebellious, but he was kind of rebelling against hip hop a little bit.
Yeah, because I think around the he did have that kind of like the street thug kind of thing. He tried to go back to that. Remember when Nasty Nas, Esco to Esco, and then he went back. Obviously when his mom died, he went like Super Saiyan, like Brawly, like just angry. But the music was, I thought I liked it. He
was mad. You remember the interview he went on?
Yeah, talking about Cameron.
He was talking about Cameron and Nori,
the whole industry. Yep.
I mean, the whole industry, like Nelly. I mean, he was just getting on. He went on everybody. Yep. You know what I mean? And then he dropped Godson after that. So, he had the whole Godson, like, I'm gonna teach these rappers how to be a man image.
Yep.
And then the rumor was that on Godson, that he had a bunch of tracks on there where he was going at everybody, but people was like, no, don't do that. And he scrapped them.
Yeah, because they said like the first version of Ether was like just some just nasty. It was just it wasn't sonically. It was just this angry, bitter, just crazy Nas. Like, yeah, Nas. Like I said, when you want to wake up Nas, man, just make sure
man.
you know what you're waking up, man. I know he's so he's made amends or whatever with certain people, man, but damn, he's one of the only guys I can think of. When you compare it to a lot of these new guys today, it's like when there was beef. Shout out to Jay Kiss and Beanie Siegels because they have probably one of the more underrated rivalries in terms of the great music that came from the mixtapes on these songs. But Nas, man, when you just want to wake up that sleeping giant, man, I'm just hoping this stuff with Benny the Butcher. I hope it takes the same Styles P approach where it's like we're cool, but I'm trying to kill you on this track because I feel like Benny the Butcher, those boys, man, like they on that flow. They come from that Nas era. Like they appreciate that. So you hear it in their raps, you hear it in their freestyles. Like,
right. So let me see. And then where else? Nas after Godson, the hip hop is dead. And then after that, he went into his kind of not rebellion. What's the word?
Hip Hop is Dead, the Untitled album.
He did Untitled, Distant Relatives, so it was just more conscious. He always did some conscious stuff.
That was like more grown, conscious type of.
Yeah,
I don't say spiritual, but like it was deeper because remember his old consciousness was always kind of like street related.
Street knowledge, street consciousness, right? Street knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right, but this one was a little different. Like, it's just for everybody. Like, again, one of my favorite songs is "Patience" with him and Damian. Not Damian.
Yeah, Damian Marley. Yeah,
it's Damian. I'm sorry, I was gonna say the other Marley. Damian Marley, and this one song. I know people might kill me. I actually think Damian Marley beat him on that song, but that's just my. It's just
he probably did, but he probably did. I mean, I
love that album. I give Damian Marley that.
I wish that album would have sold more units. That album was dope to me. That album was really dope to me, and I did expect them to do more. Like, what's the other joint that they had together? It's on Damian Marley's album.
Nah, I mean,
no, not I mean. Damn, I don't know why I'm blanking out. What's the joint?
Let me see.
It's on Damian Marley. It wasn't on.
Oh, not on the album. Oh, okay.
It wasn't on the album. But it was the first time you heard Nas and Damian Marley together, though. Can't think of the name. I'm about to find it right now. Now it's not gonna come. I just had it. Now I lost it.
Yeah, I gotta listen to more Damian Marley because I still love. Hey, leave, Guillermo, leave, huh? What did I do, C-Mac? What are you talking about?
Road to Zion. Right, I did expect to hear more stuff like, I thought it was going to be more like Road to Zion, but I loved the album, you know what I mean? That was a dope album. That was a dope album.
Yeah, it's Damian Marley, right? What is he talking about? It's Damian Marley.
Who, C-Mac?
Yeah, C-Mac saying it's not Damian. It is Damian Marley.
It is Damian Marley.
What's the guy talking? Anywho,
C-Mac talking about it is Damian Marley. But the song is Road to Zion. I'm on the road to Zion, man. You know what I mean? Like that song right there, that's what I thought it was gonna be, a little bit more like that. But anyway, yeah, Nas has had so many different personas and things like that. Every single one of his albums, you can't take one album and put it next to each other and say, these sound the same. You can't do that.
Oh.
I don't know if there's another artist like that, but you can't do that. You cannot put two artists together, two of his albums together and say, yep, these joints sound exactly alike. You know what I mean? So
he doesn't follow a popular sound. I'm telling you, he's not going to get appreciated until he's long gone, where there's going to be some people from Harvard like they're doing now. It's,
right.
and appreciate Nas now, man.
Yeah, and the thing about him, he takes chances. Like, he gets this things about him. He gets lazy and he takes chances.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those two things sometimes hurt his career, kind of, right? Because he gets lazy, isn't always just killing it like he's supposed to, and then he takes chances and does some stuff that you're like, what the hell was that? Like if you go to Hip Hop is Dead, and he got the song "Who Killed Me," where he's using the voice of a 1950s detective. I'm like, What the hell is he doing, yo? Right? And then Street's Disciple, he's got this song, The Makings of a Perfect Bitch. Right? Mm-hmm. And the whole song is where he is a mad scientist in a lab putting together the perfect woman.
Which one was the one with Dr. Dre? That awful Nas Is Coming? Was that it?
That's Nas Is Coming. That song, it was written. Nas, Nas Is Coming. Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, put it like this. Like I said,
May 4th said Nas got lazy when. There's some songs where Nas is lazy. You gotta admit. There's some songs where you're like, bro,
he used a beat to Street Thieves twice, bro. Right.
Yeah.
They used it again on the slow. It was slow where he had the video, the Thieves theme. Play me at night. They don't act right. Understand the moves, bro. Nas, one of my favorite art, but he can get lazy. Like again,
he can get lazy on.
Look at his
tracks,
last albums before Stillmatic.
Yeah.
You can argue he kind of got complacent. Times are changing, and I mean, I know it's a shiny suit era, but it wasn't like, you could at least say with, Ghostface or Supreme Clientele, the sounds were changing, but he still, gave which I thought was a really good album, where it's like, all right, it may be changing, but y'all not gonna forget me type of stuff. And it was like,
ooh, hold up, wait a minute. I gotta say something to Triborough, and then we're gonna get off of Nas because I don't want to do the whole show on Nas, right? But okay, I can give you Nostradamus. Although there's some tracks I can take out of Nostradamus that I really like, right? Like I can really take some tracks out of Nostradamus that I like. Project Windows. Can't even think of the names right now. I had to pull it up. But there's a few tracks I can take out of there that I like. But I'll give it to you. He got lazy on that album, or whatever happened with the whole bootlegging of I Am, impacted that album. Whether he was lazy, or there was, he had to use some throwaway tracks. I don't know. But Life is Good and Untitled.
Those were good albums, bro.
I love both of those albums. The only problem I have with Nas on Untitled is that he didn't keep the nigger title.
Yeah. Yeah, he got spooked.
Right.
He got spooked.
I wish that he would have kept the title. You know what I'm saying?
You bugging. Hold on. This is the thing I'm talking about. If Jay-Z came out with songs like Untitled, people would be praising him. Nas personified himself. Project Roach, Queens Get the Money. Jay Electronica produced a song. He had that song where he was talking as if he was like Farrakhan, which I thought was cool. Breathe, and Breathe. Even though the beat on Breathe, it doesn't age well now, but I still like it. It sounds a little cheesy. Come on, y'all.
I like that song, Breathe. I especially like America.
Y'all try. You come in the chat, bro.
Come
you
on,
bugging,
man. People tripping, man. We're gonna have to break down.
Life is Good.
We might have to go break down that Untitled album and do a classic review on that Untitled album. We might have to do that because sometimes people be hating on that album and put that down as a weaker album. I disagree.
I agree. I don't know where Try is bugging right now, man.
I really disagree on that, John. I thought he's got some creative stuff on there. He wasn't talking any street talk, but that's not what the album was about.
Agreed. And what I'm saying with Jay, I might hate on Jay-Z. What I'm saying is that if an artist who was popular, because the reason why I use Jay-Z is that he gets praised for a lot of things that Nas did years ago with the 444 album, where it's like, oh yeah, I like my older rappers talking about grown-up stuff. Well, it's like, yeah, Nas came out with that in 2012 where you can hear Elevation's rap. So I'm not picking on Jay-Z. All I'm saying is that Nas experiments, but then he has this weird stigma there where everybody so-called hypes up Illmatic, that he's not put out anything great or good since Illmatic, which is far from the truth. And it's like Nas experiments. Like I said, when you go through his discography, if you like Sim said, find me another person's discography that's that extensive and that different in terms of the material. Like if you could literally listen to Untitled and listen to It Was Written and think they were two different artists. If I take out them sound the same, if you just listen to what they're talking about, you think you listen to Nas and like Talib Kweli. Like you think it's like, what, this guy rap about the same stuff? So no, let's give Nas his flowers before it's too late, because this dude, he experiments and he's had some. We didn't even include distant relatives in terms. Oh no, we did in terms of breaking out. But Y'all bugging. C-Mac, try.
He said life is good. Keep it a dumping. Keep it all day. Come on, man. May 4th said the mix down on Nostradamus was terrible. I agree. The mix down on Nostradamus was not good. A couple of tracks it was, it was good. But like, for example, when I listened to Come Get Me, right? Like, you can tell it was recorded at 2 different times. You know what I'm saying? Just the way his voice changes on it. The beat is tough, but you can tell it was recorded at 2 different times. But here's the tracks off of Nostradamus I like. I like Life We Chose. I like Project Windows. I like Shoot 'Em Up. I like Last Words.
I like Shoot 'Em Up, even though it's kind of...
Right. Some of the other songs. Hate Me If You Want, You Owe Me. I like that joint.
I like You Owe Me Too. Okay. I was watching the video the other day just because someone was like, oh yeah, Beyonce was in it. I was like, wait, Beyonce was in it?
Yeah.
She wasn't dancing. Obviously, she was just sitting down with the rest of Destiny's Child, but I actually like that song, man.
Yeah,
they used to play that so many damn Nigerian, like, I don't know why Nigerians like that song, but
that song
Nigerians
was,
love that song.
People hated on Nas because of that song, right? But I was a DJ at that time, and I know if I threw that joint on in the club, it was going off. That joint was hitting. I like that. I love that. But
you know other song I like that it came out a little bit before that, but it kind of had the same feel a little bit that I like, and I don't think it gets enough respect. But people look back like, oh, come on, You Won't See Me Tonight with Aaliyah. I love that song. You won't see
I'm the most wanted baby father. Check it. I used to DJ like, so I was DJing, right? And I had a partner. And my man, like, he didn't know what to play. We would be in the club and, we have it jumping. And then he'd throw on a Woo track. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He'd be like, yo, but it's dope. I'm like, but they not dancing to Woo like that.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? So I can remember multiple times, and it used to crack me up laughing. We would be doing like a house party for, for like a grandmother's birthday or something like that, right? And they didn't mind if you threw on some rap, especially if it had like, at the time, Biggie was out and they used a lot of old school samples. So, they didn't mind if you threw it on because they would hear some of the old school stuff that they would rock to. Then they come up like, well, play the original version. You play the original version to it.
Right.
Bro, he would throw on like, he threw on that track right there. You Won't See Me Tonight. And it just starts off, I'm the most wanted baby's father, right? And he'd look at me and we'd start dying because the old people don't hear it. But just out of respect, we're like, damn, we got to change that because, what they about to think of us.
Oh man, it's the way that song comes on though, man, and that's a Timbaland beat, by the way. Salute to Timbaland.
Yeah.
I like that song, man.
And
I love that.
Another song that I like that a lot of people be like, yo, why do you like that song? Right. Another song I like is Big Girl. I like that song. You're a big girl now. Coming up with the hormones now. I like that joint. I thought that joint was pretty dope. I like the way he was rapping in double time and this and that. And then, the whole song went into, at the end, he told a story about his girl getting into a fight and he had to stop it. He wasn't going to let her get beat down and all that. I thought it was pretty dope, but.
Some Dark Child song. Yeah, it sounds like a Dark Child beat. I bet you it's Dark Child. Let me see the Big Girl song.
Big Girl. I don't know who was the producer of it. Let me see.
Hold up. D Public Enemy. He says Church Boy Guillermo loves singing but hates to hear other people singing on track. Where do y'all get this from? Like, I literally just said I love hearing T-Pain's music, and all he does is sing on other people. Well, not all he does, but he sings a lot on other people. What do you talk? I love people singing on tracks. What are you talking about? This doesn't sound good. One of my favorite songs is Can't Knock the Hustle because of Mary J. Blige singing on that track, and it was perfect with Jay-Z. And I remember that stupid video I used to watch all the time on a box where Jay-Z had that gold digger and he blew up the car while she was just checking the diamonds.
And Mates is laughing at me because I like Big Girl, because I like the song Big Girl.
I'm actually hearing this song now. So yeah, this is not the song.
I mean, but listen, everybody got some corny song that they like. Don't tell me everybody got a couple of corny joints that they're like, it's corny, but I like that joint. Everybody got them. I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying?
But
For some reason,
corny, this is corny, like serious. It's like it's trying to be like, like You know, it's trying to be like Black Girl Lost kind of, but it's like, come on, man, this is.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, you're a big girl. Like, okay, you growing up now. We can do what we want to do. Basically, like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's one that I like.
Take Two. That's a corny joint that everybody love.
What is that?
Wow.
It Takes Two.
Corny?
It takes two to make a thing go. Yeah, it was like a fun
you think that's
song,
corny?
Though.
Freezy, you said that's corny? It Takes Two?
No. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I love the song, right? I love the song. I'm just saying it's not really that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but we're not saying serious, but just one that is like whack, basically, that you like.
Oh no!
Okay,
no, It Takes Two ain't whack.
Nah, It Takes Two ain't whack. Big Girl,
no.
You know, it's a big girl. Now, I know it's kind of whack, but I like it.
Wait,
I don't know what it is about.
Anyway, are you saying
it.
I Know I Can Be What I Want to Be as well? I actually thought that song was kind of dope, man.
You said it's whack? Come on, man. That's a good song.
I don't know if he's saying it's whack or is this a corny song he made thing, but people try to clown Nas again. If Drake put that song out today, people, oh, yo, man, Drake is really touching the kids. I thought it was cool, and the way he was breaking down stuff, and that beat, like you would never think that's on a rap beat.
I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah,
I don't think the dude. I personally, I don't think the dude can do anything wrong in my eyes. I think Nas is.
Nah, he could do something.
He's had some whack songs, bro.
Yeah, he's done bad albums.
Yeah.
He's had some. You bugging though. You bugging.
He's had some whack songs.
It's okay. I don't think it's classic though.
No. I don't think Untitled's classic, but you said Untitled is whack?
No, I mean the concept of it, like him talking about slavery and stuff, I get that. That was done. I think only a few artists could do that, but the production to me was bad. Like the joints he had with The Game and Busta, I didn't really care for that album. But the concept I like. I just feel like the production was bad.
Now the joint that he had with The Game, I thought didn't fit. I thought it was out of place. Right. I didn't think that fit on the album. I thought it was out of place with everything else he was talking about. I didn't think it fit. The joint with Busta, I like it, but I like.
Was that Fried Chicken?
That's Fried Chicken. Yeah.
The one I like the most is Get the Money and the whole Project Roach, man. I don't know why I like Project Roach. That beat was so smooth, man. Damn, that beat was beautiful, man.
You know,
I just don't think the dude can do no wrong in my eyes. I love the dude.
Here's the one thing. Here's the one thing about Untitled that usually Nas, like his albums are, you know, like he never just sticks to one thing and stays with it. He kind of jumps all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. This was one album where he said, "Here's the concept," and he just kind of stuck to it all the way through, except for the joint with Game. Right. I mean, you know, usually it's kind of Life is Good. I guess he did it too. Life is Good. He did. He had a concept and he kind of stuck with it. You know,
except for Summer on Smash.
Except for Summer on Smash, of course. Right. And except for Summer on Smash. Song, and every time, this is the thing. Every time he tries to do a record that's going to be for the radio, that isn't what ends up selling it. Except for You Owe Me.
That is very true. For new albums, because I thought. If I Ruled the World, that was made for the radio. Now that was a hit.
Okay, that was made for the radio. That was made for the radio. But when I say I guess I'm saying like it was made for the radio, but it was still him. Like, you know what I mean? It was like still him. It still held his like who he is. Still represented that. These other ones kind of don't. Like the joint with Game is just a braggadocious whatever, you know what I'm saying? But If I Ruled the World kind of was him. I wish that on that It Was Written album, and I know some people disagree with me. They like the album version better. I like the remix to Street Dreams better than the album version. The album version is tight, but I like the remix, and I feel the remix sold 500,000 copies by itself. If you go look it up, he sold 500. It went gold by itself. Just imagine what It Was Written would have done if he would have had the remix version on the actual album.
I agree. That's one of my favorite songs of all time, man. Low profile, rap style, slick as new now. Yeah. Like his third verse on Street Dreams,
crazy.
I think is one of the best verses in terms of lyricism, flow, like the way it when he talks about of course I'm losing it in my head because when he talks about wake up in a cold sweat, yo, I hate that whole part of him rapping, like he's like, that's Nas, ain't it, made it rich from entertaining fresh while he's painted, as he told the kid he came with, like that part gives me goosebumps, man. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite verses in all of music. Period, man.
Yeah. That might be a top 20 Nas verse for sure.
No. To me, I think it's top 3. The way he puts everything together, like, and I hate because I always remember the video because I used to watch so many damn videos, and I know people don't like R. Kelly, but R. Kelly being out there with the whole it sounds crazy. Not in a sexual way, but he's out there with the kids in the park, and he's singing. He's singing in the park, like it's just, I smile whenever I hear that song.
I really feel like somebody, Steve Stout was managing Nas at the time.
Right? Yes, Commissioner Steve Stout.
Yeah, but I feel like somebody should have said to Nas, "This really is your lane where you can keep your integrity and kill it on the radio. If I Ruled the World, Street Dreams, right? Mm-hmm. That style, I feel like if Nas would have stuck to that back then, it would have still been Nas, and he would have killed it on the radio. Both of those tracks killed it on the radio. Both of them.
So that song used to come on all the time, Hot 97, bro. Sorry to cut, my bad, Big Fan. I mean cut you off, but yeah, that song used to come on all the time, Hot 97, when they actually used to play rap music in the morning, because that's the only time I could hear it when I came back. But yeah, that song did big, and it was If I Ruled the World was a song that was like, man.
Dog, that's a Curtis Blow joint.
Yeah, we get it. What's talking about the song joint? Oh my Lord Jesus! Big Freeze gonna give us. He met Curtis Blow back at Tower Records. We got it, Big Freeze. We understand that he sampled it. He took it. Curtis Blow, yes. If I Ruled the World with the I free all my girl or whatever. No, not free, but I whatever. He's talking about. We understand. He sampled from Curtis Blow. We got it, Big Freeze. But we talking about the Nas.
First of all, that's not where I met Curtis Blow at. I met him somewhere else.
Of course. You're not slick. Just say you met him, man. Just tell us a damn story, man.
Secondly, the Street Dreams. That's the Eurythmics joint, right?
That's the what?
Yeah, the original.
The Eurythmics joints.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The original.
Sweet Dreams are made of these. The Eurythmics.
He sampled the
yeah. But the original was the original was that one. The original uses that sample because Tupac uses the same sample.
Right.
Street Dreams are made of the. Well, it's not Street Dreams, but you know.
Yeah. He sampled that thing from that rock group with the lady in it, Street Dream, and then the beat was sampled.
But the beat was sampled by both of them. That same beat was sampled by both Pac and Nas. Yeah. Right, but the remix I thought was better. I like the remix better, and I thought Nas missed his chance. Like that right there for me was his chances to. Maybe one or two tracks like that on the next two albums, I thought would have, took him to another level if he would have stayed with that for a little while instead of trying to be the flashy suit guy, too.
Making joints with Genuine. Yeah.
Well, we just talked about it. I actually like the song Genuine, man.
That was Timbaland produced track too, right?
Right.
I think that was Timbaland too. That you owe me.
Can I just say something? Just to interject, just a little something.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, man. Listen, so you can beat on a tomato can and have Nas rap, and it'll be like for cats like me that love hip hop and love MCs. Dog, Nas can rap on anything, dog, and I'ma love it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think the dude technically, and not to get into this again, but the dude just has it. You know what I'm saying? So I think you could put him on anything. I ain't gonna say he's the greatest, but you could just about put that dude on anything, man.
Hey, I mean, Curtis Blow did this song. I think it's Curtis Blow. When I'm waiting for somebody to sample, I think white lines
yeah.
I'm just waiting for somebody to use that joint because I really feel like that could, if somebody
wasn't
does
that
it
sampled
right.
by Mobb Deep for the Quiet Storm?
Yep.
But did they use the hook?
Wait, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used the drum line and the bass line. They didn't use the lyrics though.
Well, I mean, but
wow.
not. I guess I didn't mean to say sample. I mean using that hook.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean using that hook though. White lines go away. I think that joint would be so crazy if somebody uses that hook today. They got to do it right. But if somebody uses that today, I think that'd be crazy, and it'll blow.
And Tribal, the craziest thing, Havoc tries to downplay the creation of that beat, bro. Like he's like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm like, yo, bro, Quiet Storm beat, man. Stop, man. That's an iconic beat, man. Stop playing around, bro. Like, I didn't know that's the same drum line. So then I wonder what the piano sample came from. I mean, it's simple, but
I'm not sure, man.
Damn. Salute to Havoc, man. Underrated.
Yo, Havoc.
Rapper,
Yo, Havoc is crazy. That's why I can't wait to see what happens if him and Method Man actually hook up. Do something, man.
Goodness.
That's gonna be crazy. Hopefully it's gonna be crazy. If it really goes down that way, hopefully it's gonna be crazy. We'll see. We'll see what happens if they actually.
How did y'all like Prodigy?
I think I love Prodigy.
I love Prodigy.
Even when he rapped, when he didn't rhyme.
I mean, Prodigy was never gonna blow up. It wasn't gonna happen. He was gonna be, he was gonna be your underground rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, Mobb Deep did well. Let's not act like they didn't do well. They sold records.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep sold records. The only thing I didn't like, well, let me just say, what I expected and what I wanted was for them to grow a little bit more with their music and what they talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because both of them are really smart dudes. Well, rest in peace, Prodigy, but both of them are really intelligent people, especially Prodigy. Prodigy is really smart dude.
Very underrated album. That his last album, Hegelian Dialectic, man. Like, bro. And I know some of the beats sound a little bit cheap because I don't know which producer's using, but he was deep, man. And bro, and I'm talking about, and this really made me appreciate Alchemist when you listen to albums like Return of the Mac, and then he did the Albert Einstein album, bro. Like, I'm talking about the production on that. Prodigy, man. A lot of dude, he's another dude experiments in that. Like, to me, go back and listen to the Albert Einstein album. Listen to the song they had with Earl Sweatshirt. Like, bro, he not Earl Sweatshirt. It was my bad. It was another dude, not Earl Sweatshirt. But I apologize. But that album and Return to Mac, in terms of what he was doing after the whole Mobb Deep stuff, bro, Prodigy was a hard worker, man.
He was hard worker, smart dude, a little paranoid. I'm saying, if you
ever paranoid, I'll give you that.
Paranoid, you know what I mean?
He was talking about it before he said Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body. Yo, he's been talking that stuff for years.
Trying to keep their eyes on me.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Hey, I give him that, man.
Yeah, man, but still, man, like through this whole thing, man, hip hop is keeping us entertained without a doubt, man. What you think about Tekashi 6ix9ine getting out early because of coronavirus?
Lord. Well, what's gonna happen to him? This is New York. We don't. What's gonna happen to him?
I mean, what's gonna happen? Well, right now, probably nothing, because can't nobody, even the killers ain't trying to go out. You know what I'm saying? But
Alpo's walking around like everything's all beautiful. So I mean, nothing's gonna happen to him. He'd be fine.
Took a shot at himself.
Like this. I want to see which artists are gonna run to do songs with him. Who are gonna be the first artists to run and do songs? Because I mean, a lot of these rappers, they talk about, like Young Chopper's like, everybody from New York, y'all got mad snitches. And I mean, everybody has snitches, but a lot of these guys, again, I mean, they just look for hits. They don't care about integrity anymore or nothing. So I want to see who'll be the first artist to run up and do a song about shoot 'em up, knowing that literally this dude will snitch on you if worse comes to worse. But
well, he took a shot at himself on social media.
What do you say?
So
I hate Tekashi.
The Los Angeles mayor's office is offering rewards for snitching on businesses violating the city's stay-at-home order. right? And then 6ix9ine, you know, he commented on that post, you know, coming to the rescue about himself.
Well, yeah,
So, hey,
he's gonna be a gimmick rapper now. He's gonna be like that type where he's just like a gimmick.
I don't know, man.
No, that was cute though. Yeah, that's cute, man.
I mean, I guess he thinks to himself, listen, if I just own up to it, you know, don't try to make excuses, then people will accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing is that, bruh, I mean, but you look at it two ways, right? A guy who took the alternate route was Bobby Shmurda. And it's like, I really wonder if Bobby Shmurda comes out, and I mean, he has a few more years left because he took a 7-year deal for a crime he wasn't even in. He took it just to help his man out get less years, if that's not honorable, I don't know what is.
Right.
And I wonder how the rap game is going to treat him, because if Tekashi 6ix9ine can make more money coming out than Bobby Shmurda, assuming that Bobby Shmurda goes back to rap, that's when you know hip hop is truly dead. Because again, a lot of these guys talk about this and that, but who are they gonna run to? If Tekashi, say, I don't know if he's gonna do it, but say he goes and makes songs with Fabio and all those dudes from the Woos and the Chews and all that stuff, and you know, Bobby Shmurda can't get played once he comes out. It's just
we'll see how it's gonna go, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like,
hey, think
about this.
Fire?
Huh?
When you go back and listen to it, was it that dope when you listen to it now?
What?
Who, Tekashi?
Like, no, Bobby Shmurda. Because when I go back and listen to, and no lie, when I used to be, I was in a party one time and that joint came on and people lost their minds, right? So I was like, oh, this must be fire. But then I went back and listened to it like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, all right.
I mean, different ears, you know what I'm saying? Different ears. And then if you're in the club, when you're in the club, just about anything not anything, because my man, like I said earlier, he throw on Woo, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing, bro? Like, we rock to that in the car on the way to the diner after we leave. You know what I'm saying? Not at the club, but I mean, for the most part, if you throw on something that's decent enough, you know, got it, you know, good dance sound to it, people gonna rock to it in the club. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You can throw on, rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to hold them. And I guarantee you, black people will dance to it, bro.
Right, people gonna jump to it.
Black people will dance to that joint. They'll start doing country, whatever type dances to that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, you know, when you're in the club, it just sounds different. You know, when that bass hits, it just sounds different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, because it's another joint.
I ain't gonna front. I heard somebody.
Oh,
my bad, Freezy. I just heard somebody just humming the tune. That is catchy tune.
That was me. I actually like that song. But it's not something you can play in the club. I actually do like that song.
That you gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk. I just heard that song tonight. That's what made me think about it.
You like that song?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I mean, I wouldn't advise if future DJs, if y'all out there, I would advise y'all just to throw on anything.
Bro,
but
I can guarantee
you,
I can tell you right now, especially in Baltimore with Baltimore club music, if they took that Kenny Rogers joint and they put that joint to a club beat and had that joint mixed up in there, they would rock to it for 20 minutes. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, bro. I bet you they would. They'll rock to that joint for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and DC got a little of that too, because I was in a DC party and they put on this joint. Y'all remember Supercat?
Of course.
Yeah.
Reggae.
Super. They had a Criss Cross had a joint with Supercat, right? This jump reggae remix or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I heard it come on. I'm listening to Supercat. I'm like, I know this ain't Supercat rapping on this little kid's beat. Dog. I was trying to make my way to the bar, and it took me like 45 minutes to get to the bar. So many people on the floor dancing. I promise you, dude. So people, I know people. Huh? This was like 90.
Okay,
this was like 91.
Yeah, it's
like 91.
It's a long ass.
But I'm just saying to the point what Sim was saying, you could just about throw on anything in a party, And if you in the right situation, man, people will lose their mind. Man. I'm telling you, it took me like 40 minutes to get from the back of the line in the bar just to get a drink. They had Super Cat on. I'm like, come on, y'all loving Super Cat like this?
Oh, hold on. You saying Super Cat was whack?
Yeah, Super Cat had a flow, man.
I'm not saying Super Cat was whack. I'm saying Super Cat and Crisscross together is just something that I never anticipated seeing or hearing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Super Cat is whack now. Let me clarify. I'm just saying, you taking like the best in one genre and mixing it with a gimmick of another genre. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So where is Crisscross now? Where is Crisscross?
Well, one dude has passed away, right?
Yeah.
One of them passed away. Yeah, that's right. Crisscross. That's John.
By today's standards, though, they can rap.
Oh yeah, they yeah. I mean, yeah, because there are no standards today.
Oh,
right. I listened to this one song. They sampled one of them 70s songs, and it's when they're a little older, and it's not half bad. It's not half bad. This is when one of them, when the dark skin one who passed away, he shaved his head because I think he had like leukemia or something like that.
Alopecia.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. And that song ain't half bad, bro. That song ain't half bad. Wow. But looking back at it, I still don't like him though.
Nah, that's my point. Yeah, that's my point. That was the whole point. You
didn't wear your pants backwards and.
Hell no.
I'm a grown man, dog.
I didn't wear I was wearing hand-me-downs. I didn't even wear that crap.
And I didn't like it. I had older brothers, so my whole thing was like DOS Effects, KRS-One, all of that.
Yeah.
Around that time that came out, KRS-One came out with "Love's Gonna Get You," so. And that's a classic song. So no,
that's a classic song.
Yeah, Love's Gonna Get You.
That's cross. I as a kid, I wasn't on no kid shit. So what it was, man.
You don't drink lean now and drool on yourself and all that dumb crap they're doing today.
KRS had one of them joints too. One of them I was gonna say sellout, but it ain't a sellout song. It's a one of them songs. It was a smash before like the Diddy formula. Where something go platinum and then somebody. Do you remember that song, "Step Into a World"?
Yeah, but that joint was hard.
That wasn't commercial.
That was. I mean, matter of fact, in the song.
Go ahead, Tim.
In the song, he's talking about commercial rap and "Step Into." He's talking about it in that joint. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
I think it's just the beat is so iconic. You try to attribute it to being selloutish, but I don't think it's selloutish.
That joint is.
No.
I love that song.
Yeah. I still bump that, man.
Oh my gosh, that song, man.
He said he tried to fit in when he did that song, the isms. I mean, just talking about smoking weed.
Yeah.
Really, you're not really about this stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
The isms.
That's when. I don't know about that.
But that was his. I think that was his boy Channel Live, right?
Right, he
was doing stuff with Channel Live. I think that was somebody who's trying to, do whatever with.
That's classic.
Still.
The Madism.
Yeah, it is. We smoke Madisms.
He was just trying to get his mans and them on.
Maybe, but it's like, all right, come on, like, not saying he can't smoke anything. But it's like you're not a weed head rapper,
No.
Right. At least he didn't profess that up to that point. You know what I mean? But back to "Step Into a World," that was unexpected to me. And again, I heard that in a party. I heard the intro, and I'm thinking this is Blondie. You know what I'm saying? And it's KRS, and I'm like, what the man?
Blondie. That joint is so hard, man.
You know what? This is what he tries to do. He tries to take what all of us take as like canon type of stuff. And he tries to shit on it, so it's like, yo, yeah, my level of thinking is way above. Come on, man. No one thought "Step Into a World" was some commercial guard. Come on, man. Why would you even? Come on, Big Freezy. Why would you say that, man?
Dog, really?
It's not commercial whatsoever. I've never thought of that song. I just thought it was and it became big because the beat was so infectious. Like it was
right.
Right. Only because the original sold like 2 million copies.
Oh my God.
But see, here again, though,
I'm not knocking it though. I'm not knocking it because it was successful.
But check it. But here again,
You know
it's about perspectives in our like where the time period that you come from. Because Big Freezy like is going back and talking about Blondie, and Blondie was a pop sensation.
Right.
Very true.
Right. Blondie was a pop sensation. So when you look at the time period, you know, when Diddy and all of them, you know, sampling these pop, sometimes, sampling these old pop songs and, you know, rehashing them. Someone's like, well, you know, he kind of did the same thing by taking Blondie and doing it. I mean, I just still felt it was harder than a regular pop song.
Right.
But I get where you're coming from. You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, but that joint was just tough, though.
Yeah, but most of the people I know that like that song didn't know of Blondie. Like,
right.
I don't think they liked it because of Blondie, right? Like, it'd be something if you say Juicy, because it came from Mtume or whatever. Yeah, you could attribute it to that, but it's like, you know, I think that Blondie Step Into a World, I don't think people are like, yo, they sample Blondie versus like Mtume is like, yo, my mom used to play this damn song all the damn time. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know. I don't see as
no. And so the point of view I'm coming from is when Blondie's joint came out, it was like hip hop was so new on the radio that you might only hear like 2 rap songs all week long through Monday through Friday. You might hear 2 songs, and both it'd be rappers alike. They'll play rappers alike twice during the week, Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? And then Blondie came out when she is rapping. She like Fab Five Freddy said everybody fly, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And so it go from, you know, hearing it 2 times a week till you hear this song twice every hour on the hour, Blondie. And she ain't even a rapper. She ain't even street tested. She got no street cred whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But it's a song about hip hop. And then you got Grandmaster Flash, who you know, just to let y'all know, I really dislike, you know what I'm saying, which don't have nothing to do with his music. But you go hearing like from 2 times a week, twice an hour, and it's a blonde white girl, you know what I'm saying? So you like, what's going on? And then fast forward like 15 years, you know, you hear it again, and it's the dude from the boom bap era who's holding it down for boom bap. Talk about Step Into a World. So it's like, yo, what's really going on? But the song was dope though.
I feel you on that. I feel it. So your perspective is different.
Right.
Yeah, because at the time they weren't playing no hip hop on the radio
at all
until you tuned into Red Alert at like 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
And then you have to put your tape recorder up to the speaker. Yeah, you know.
And that wasn't even Monday through Friday. You talking about
right? That was like Friday. That was like Saturday night, right?
Right. We had to catch cats like Mr. Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if everybody here even heard. I know y'all heard of Mr. Magic, but I don't know if y'all heard Mr. Magic live. Mr. Magic, he wasn't even playing hip hop like that. You had to be a certain type. You had to be a Houdini type almost to get on the radio with Mr. Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Magic wasn't necessarily liked by people in the hip hop community. He was a bit of
he was not liked by KRS-One because he called KRS-One and Bronx rappers whack. And to be honest with you, at the time,
but you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Yeah. We're now to the point where artists are sampling or redoing old hip hop songs. You know what I mean? Like on the radio. I mean, obviously people did it before Megan Thee Stallion, but Megan Thee Stallion redid a Tupac song, right?
Right.
You know, she got the song "I Want to Be Your Bitch." You know, that's from Pac, right? I want to be your Nigga, so we can then and smoke weed all day, right?
And Richie Rich,
right? Yeah. And then you got Rhapsody, who kind of redid the "Keep Your Head Up" joint.
Right.
From Pac, you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I mean, we're at that point now where, you know, people are, you know, redoing old, like 90s hip hop joints, not even 80s, 90s hip hop joints.
Right.
Dating us all.
Speaking of white line, somebody did use that hook, man.
Who?
It was a dude named the Mighty Casey. I don't know if you ever heard his song before.
The Mighty Casey. Nah, I never heard of
And
him.
he had a song called White Girls. Instead of White Lines, the song went White Girls.
Oh, wow.
I gotta check that joint out.
BT Uncut type of shit, man?
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. You said Mighty Casey.
And the rest of the hook was like, "Don't tell Minister Farrakhan."
Oh, that's crazy.
He said, "Don't tell Minister Farrakhan."
Instead of saying something like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Instead of saying something like a phenomenon, they say, "Don't tell Minister." Oh, that's crazy.
My Lord,
That's crazy.
I used to see this dude when I lived in Crown Heights. I used to see this dude on Nostrand Ave, walking around looking like he was high as hell.
Of course.
Oh man. Yo, that's hilarious. Don't tell Minister Farrakhan.
Go check it out. It's on YouTube.
Yo, that's hilarious. I forgot about LL and Phenomenon though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that. Something like a phenomenon. Yeah. I forgot about that. Other stuff. Guillermo, this is gonna make you mad.
Oh Lord.
Jay-Z and Meek Mill donating 100,000 masks to prisons through the Reform Alliance.
Oh my Lord, that is a good thing. I'm not mad.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying. You always say
Lord
this.
Jesus,
it's fake
man.
woke. I'm just don't know if.
That's a good y'all make it seem like I have no nuance when I talk about Jay-Z, man. That is a good thing. Salute to those guys.
You don't have nuance when you talk about Jay-Z.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If people actually listen to what I'm saying, you actually understand where the nuance is coming from. Because again, I don't hate the guy. His music is his music. I have no problems with him. I just see that there are things that he does for certain reasons, and that's why he reminds me that when I listen to these artists, listen to the music. Just listen to the music. Don't take them as being these icons, or just listen to music, because they're gonna do things that don't align with what they say. And we can sit here and say, oh, they grew and all that stuff. But I mean, I've seen things that he's done. And other rappers too. It's not just Jay-Z. I've seen other rappers do other things. And it's like, bro, are you serious? So salute to them. That's a very good thing. And that's their platform. God bless them. To whoever's being affected by it, I would take this as a blessing. I wouldn't take this as something that you should think that's going to constantly come, especially when you're in the prison. But that's a good thing that they're doing. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's.
Y'all funny, man.
I'm just saying,
God bless you, man. Yeah, bugging, man.
Jay-Z and Meek Mills, the Reform Alliance, sending 100,000 surgical masks to jails and prisons. Who's going to be wearing them? The guards or the prisoners?
That's a great point, man. The way some of these prisoners be getting treated, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they need to put some stipulations on that.
Yeah, because if you make it, because think about this, it's gonna be most likely going to be a black market for if it goes to the prisoners, where certain people they're probably gonna control the amounts. People have to give up their masks. It's gonna be just like commissary and other stuff. Like, I don't know. It's very unfortunate, but if no one's watching over it,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, hey, speaking of prison, have you guys watched the show? And I do want to say the MH. So what I'm trying to do one show where I review music and one show where I do where we're just talking. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I review music, they're gonna keep on copyright infringement, blocking the videos and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do one where we review music and one where we do talking. Normally, I'm going to try to do reviewing music on Fridays because new music comes out at midnight on Thursday. Well, Friday morning at midnight. So I'll try to do new music on Fridays and just kind of talk on Wednesdays. So I'm trying to section it off that way. But since I didn't do one before and we did some music on Wednesday, I figured we just kind of talk tonight. You know what I mean? So that, they're not always trying to, hit me over the head with a copyright infringement. So
right.
So that's why we just kind of talking tonight. I mean,
okay.
Let's kind of talk about stuff that's going on in the music world. But speaking of prisons though, You guys watch the show For Life?
I watch it.
I haven't watched it yet. Is that the one with the 50 Cent one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the dude who's fighting from prison? I'm stuck on the Money Heist right now on Netflix, which is just crazy.
Oh.
But yeah.
What'd you think about it, Triborough?
I think it's good that it's showing like a black man, fighting for his freedom. He realized that he made a mistake and he wants his family back. And while he's in prison, he's studying to become a lawyer, and he's a good lawyer. And I feel like the system is trying to like railroad him from keep him from coming back out and reuniting with his daughter. She's about to have a baby. And I think it's a positive show, and 50 Cent just came on the show, and I think it's a good show.
Yeah, it's definitely a good show. It's actually not a true. It's inspired by a true story, right?
Right.
It's inspired by Isaac Wright Jr. And obviously, I didn't know about this guy until I started watching For Life, and apparently. Isaac Wright Jr. was, he was convicted of a crime. I didn't read everything about it, but he was convicted of a crime. And when he went to prison, he studied to become a lawyer, became a lawyer, and started fighting cases while he was in prison for other prisoners, and freed himself. You know what I mean? And so the entire show is about. They don't use the name Isaac Wright Jr. So, basically what they say on the show is the stories that they're telling are fictional, but it's based on a true story. But the stories that they're telling in the show are fictional. Basically, just like Triborough said, he's got his degrees in prison, and he's trying to fight his way out. Now, in the show, most of the cases, he's using these cases to find ways to get information about his case. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of the reason why he's taking on cases. But then he takes on some cases that, don't have anything to do with his case, just so he can help some people out. It's a good show. I think it's a good show nonetheless. I enjoy it. I watch it every week. I think it would have been better on like Showtime or something where they can curse and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's on
network. Trying to get for that network money. But again, network money sometimes ruins. Like you can't put like say Breaking Bad or The Wire on network television, right? So some of that greediness you got to take out. But maybe he got dissuaded from some of the things that probably went on with Power on Star. So
50 just showed up. 50 just showed up. Basically. He's the lawyer dude. They're trying to shut him down. You know what I mean? The DA, whoever, trying to shut him down, and they had 50, who was a prisoner, transferred from another prison. So he can come over and take over that prison and kind of, put a lockdown on the dude. You know what I'm saying? And so right now, a beef is starting to brew between him and 50.
Love how 50 Cent puts himself in every show. It's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for this show, but I just remember with Power, where it's like he thought he got killed and he came back, and it's I mean, I just hope he doesn't overdo it. He has to realize he's not a good actor, but behind the scenes, he's I guess a fairly good producer, creator of these shows, so.
I mean,
I just hope it doesn't become the 50 Cent show like I almost did on Power. But,
well, I mean,
I do you one better. I think the dude is a better exec than Diddy.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, right now in the show, he's one of the main characters in the show. He just showed up this week or last week, whenever it was. He's one of the main characters in the show now.
50.
So we'll see how long it lasts. But it's his show, I guess. So
right?
It is, but it's like you don't, when you put your name out there, you kind of but you overexpose where it's like, okay, yes, 50 Cent, you created it. Let us praise you for something else where maybe your face is not on it. So now we see, all right, you hired this person. You're kind of like creating. It's like a coaching tree, right? It's like Bill Walsh or Belichick. they hire people to do certain things, certain coaches, and they have players and stuff. But no one wants to see Belichick back out on the field. And he wasn't even a player in that. But it's like, you know what I mean? I'd rather see 50 Cent work behind the scenes versus, all right, every time I see 50, I think of Get Rich or Die Trying 50. I think of Candy Shot 50. And sometimes even of people who support 50 Cent, it's hard to take your mind off when you see him on the big screen. Versus, hey, let's just see you go in the background and just do your thing, man. Like you have a mind for art. You know what I mean? Let's see it materialize into something besides you being on the front screen or you rapping.
Yeah. So 50, at it as usual, started a little beef with Jim Jones and Tekashi 6ix9ine over social media. Just taking little shots. Of course, Jim Jones responded to him, but that's always 50. He's always taking a shot at somebody. And that's just how he does. Is he going to drop more music?
Please don't.
Nah, he trash.
Done.
Like, he's tried to get up off the shelf and drop something, but he just ain't getting no rhythm. You know what I mean?
His time passed. His time passed. And he wasn't a guy who made, outside of his first album, it wasn't like he made music where it was like lyrical. It could just stand the test of time. I mean, the dude was making songs like Candy Shop, where he was like two-stepping without a shirt on. Like, it's like,
trash.
It became just bad, really just god-awful music. And I mean, again, no one wants to hear 50.
Hey, that's the joint with him singing, right?
I look into the candy shop. A little Kim, and he's like, I don't even think of that awful, stupid video.
What man want to listen to that?
Hey, 50 Cent became Ja Rule, essentially, doing all these like lollipop songs.
Basically. So 50, I mean, listen, 50, I don't know what it is about. Like, he's an arrogant dude, man. I mean, I like him, but he's an arrogant dude. So with when Tekashi 6ix9ine being released, right, on Wednesday, April 1st, 50 did a Instagram post at Jim Jones. He didn't add him, but he spoke about him. He said, now individual one is Jim Jones. You're gonna have to tell everybody how you were on tape in court on the phone coaching Mel to super duper violate Shorty, but the feds never picked you up, and the charges were RICO and conspiracy, confidential informant, right? Just kind of talking about Jim Jones' whole involvement with Tekashi 6ix9ine and all of that. Then Jim Jones responds back, any nigga that needs to try and tarnish another man's name for personal gain has to be a hoe. Why else would he have my dick so far down his throat? Pause.
Oh man.
Hey, 50. But wait, wasn't 50 accused of having hip hop police and all these people with him?
Yes.
Like, what is he? Hold on. 50 Cent created the whole ghetto Quran that exposed not Fat Cat, Pappy Mason and who's this other guy? The one he sold drugs for, Supreme.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what is he? He literally, his rap career, a large portion of that. Well, I guess that whole song was basically you snitching and exposing dudes. Like, what is? He's hypocritical. Like, come on, 50. Stop.
It's dry snitching too, unprovoked snitching.
Yeah, you talking about Tekashi? Well, and put it like this: I'm not saying Tekashi 6ix9ine was right for what he did. I mean, this was Supreme trying to get him killed. But well, no, actually, they have beef. I take that back. They did have beef, and Supreme was trying to get him killed. But again, you did what Tekashi did. People that you were cool with, y'all got into whatever, things went sour, and then you snitched. How is 50 Cent any different? Different from Tekashi when you compare the two situations. Like, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, does he not think that people remember his transgressions?
Right. And then 50 responding back. He said, I learned something new every day. He said, see, I looked out for this guy when he needed help. I made a call to get him his deal, but people forget being a good judge of character is detrimental to success, and people change, so you have to watch them. If you stay on point, you will peep the change.
Is he talking about Tekashi?
Now he was talking about Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Talk about Jim Jones.
I'm sorry. I think he said he looked out for Jim Jones and helped. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's 50, man.
50's a weirdo.
50's he always poking his nose into something. And then he came out the other day, and I didn't even read it yet. It said something about some of these guys having gray beards. Like,
okay,
this dude, man, 50 just be. I guess
this is why I'm scared of, not scared, but this is why I was not so high on the whole him doing the album for Pop Smoke, because it's just like, to me, I feel like there's probably some ulterior, like it's not. I don't know the relationship, but it's like, it's always something with 50, whereas it seems like there's another angle. He's very Machiavellian when it comes to anything. I mean, being shot 9 times and not trusting anybody, I guess that does it to you, but he's just very Machiavellian. So it's like you got to look at all his moves with like the third eye, or whatever you want to call it, like a second look over, because just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
but he got shot. So for one thing, so he got shot 9 times in one shooting. He didn't get shot 9 times in 9 separate shootings.
No. Right.
One
but,
shoot.
I mean,
right.
you getting shot 9 times and you still surviving. I mean, you turn. It's like the whole Nero. Was it Nero, the Roman emperor who went crazy? Yeah, it's like that.
Everybody was beyond death.
No, I think it was him or Caligula. I can't remember which one, but one of them got sick and then they went crazy. At first they were like a benevolent room, then they went crazy. Caligula. But it's like that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's like life gives you a second chance. You kind of like F the world. Like, I'm in it all for me. But again, it's same thing he did in rap, where it's like, all right, you burn so many bridges, now no one wants to mess with you. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, you did it. I mean, network television is one thing, and then Jim Jones is another thing. But it's like, bro, like, stop, kind of grow up, move past that stuff that you talk about this, because and you're a hypocrite. How can you talk trash about Jim Jones but you did what Tekashi did, and you did it on wax. His only difference is that he was in prison, but you did it on wax. You got people in trouble. Well, I'm saying in trouble, but you put the spotlight on Supreme and the whole that Supreme team. Even though most of those guys were locked up anyway, Patty Mason and Fat Cat, whatever. But it's like, bro, come on, you snitch too, man. Like, that street code stuff don't exist with these rappers. Like, come on, man.
That's 50. And then he he took some pictures of Deion Sanders, Kevin Hart, and Puff Daddy, and said something about their great beard.
Yeah, well, it's great that they have. People don't understand. Why do people shit on older people who are aging and are still alive when you're literally gonna go through the same thing?
Well, he may not if he dyes his hair, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Well, then he's gonna look like, okay, fair enough. He's gonna be 70 with great. You're still 70. Like, I don't understand. Deion Sanders in the Hall of Fame. Like, how can you ish on one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time? Ooh, he has gray hair. It's like, yeah, he's older. 50. You're not 20 anymore. You're not even 30 anymore, bro. Like, grow up. Like,
I don't know, man. That's 50 for you. That's 50 for you.
Gray beards.
You know what I'm saying? 50 always been like that. He ain't dropping no music. Just talking trash.
He's a troll.
I don't know. He is. That's all he is. Looking for attention, man. Looking for attention.
Man. This dude is a troll.
Looking for attention. I seen D Public Enemy said, did I see former G Unit member Trav on Instagram airing 50 out? No, I didn't see that. Look, 50
isn't what's her name open up a new label too? Your boy, not your boy, but what's his dude's name? Benny the Butcher.
Black Serrano. I was about. Yeah, BSF.
Yeah. I just hope it's not this thing where they screw over other artists too, man. I just hope it's not that too, because a lot of these guys, when they open up their own stuff and you hear the horror stories of, this person, this guy, he's supposed to be my boy, and he's screwing me over. I just hope it's. I have a feeling it's gonna be that, but.
Well, I just hope it ain't whack rappers. Most likely, it's gonna be
locals from
some local people from
Buffalo,
or Western New York. You know what I'm saying? From Western New York, Black Soprano Family. That's the name of his label. But
okay,
most people from Western New York, Buffalo, Rochester, Utica, New York. Probably, be some people from around there, but let's just hope that they're not whack, because every time, that's what happens with most of the time. You get one artist, they try to put their friends on, and they be whack. They're terrible. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, let me ask you this: so do they have a sound? Does that area have like a distinct sound?
Do they have their own? Well, I mean, I guess the Griselda sound is basically their sound right now. So anyone coming out of there is gonna try to sound like Griselda, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, that's gonna be kind of be who they are.
Because you know how Long Island has their own sound, like Long Island rappers sound a certain way.
Yeah.
And then Bed-Stuy rappers sound a certain way.
Right.
South Bronx rappers sound a certain way. That's what I'm asking about.
Yeah,
Jersey rappers.
Yeah, so see, like, I grew up in Utica. I grew up kind of all over upstate New York, but all of those cities up there are like poor. Like they're all like kind of like Rust Belt cities, like Detroit. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Where there was once commerce there, and then it dried up. Because there's no more industry there, and so this is like real bad. Abandoned houses, like Detroit. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of people that just are like real roughneck, and so they're gonna have that style, and then like it's kind of a mixture of like the way that they're gonna sound. It's kind of a mix. It's gonna be a mixture of like New York City and Detroit, like their accent or dialect or something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna kind of sound like that because they're from New York, and they're still gonna have family members that moved to Buffalo from New York City, from Brooklyn, from Bronx, or wherever, moved to Rochester, Utica, Syracuse. From there, but they're close. They're close towards that Detroit area, so it kind of mixes together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it kind of mixes together. So they're gonna have their own little sound, but it's gonna be real grimy, gritty sound to anybody that comes out of there, I think. Because those areas are kind of like that. They're small cities, but it's kind of grimy. Because of the economics of the area right now. Like if you go to Rochester, Rochester is rough.
Wow.
Rochester, it's like Baltimore.
Oof. Right.
Yeah, like Rochester is rough, man. And it's because there's no commerce there. There's no commerce, so everybody is trying to make it. Everybody's trying to make it. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I wonder what Jay-Z what his influence might be, because it's a management deal, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z tries to put his input and get other people, tries to push him in a direction to diversify away from that, right? So Jay-Z might only be confident in that, all right, you guys can do the whole Buffalo drug rap and blah, blah, but, your man's is garbage, right? So sign this, this wannabe Rihanna type chick who's from Cali, expand yourself. I'm just kind of postulating. I don't really know what's going to happen, but it's like, to put your mans on, and you're with Jay-Z now in terms of a management deal, I just feel like you might. And then you also see Westside Gunn going to France, and now he's really, not saying he hasn't been, but he's into that whole fashion lane, and they might try to stay away from that, signing people of that ilk. So
you never know. I mean, they got some hoods. They got some hoods over there in France, bro. I'm telling you. I was watching.
Yes, they do.
I was watching the movie Uncorked on Netflix, and the dude wanted to be like a wine connoisseur. They use another word. Like he wanted to be the dude that when he comes to the table and he say that again.
Sommelier.
Yeah. Right.
Look at this guy.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a good movie. And when he went to France and like he was riding his bike through Paris and he rode through a couple of hoods and I was like, hold up. Like for real. And like you see the name of the stores on the they're all in French and they got, the way that they sound look like they would be something good, but it's just a little bodega on the corner, and these dudes was like real grimy
like
looking.
East New York.
Yeah, man. They was real grimy looking. I was like, yo, this is where Frank Ntilikina was cooling. Probably.
Right.
I heard KRS say this, man. He, because he tours all over the world, and he's like, man, Paris is one big hood. Like, forget what you see with the Eiffel Tower and the Shams and all the other stuff. It's one big hood. You step outside of that little touristy trap and it gets real. So that's why Dame Dash and all of them got in trouble them years back with Johnny Nunes and all them when the camera dude had to save them.
Yeah, Joke was talking about that, yeah.
Because he thought everybody was just gonna be around on the corners chomping on croissants. Nah, bro.
Right. That cause it's wild. Cause anytime I see a movie, and I mean me, just who I am, I look it up sometimes, right? Just to see what their hoods there look like. And the one thing that really does amaze me is that, and I don't know if it comes from rap or what it comes from. I haven't really went back to study the history of it, but even in the UK, these other places, they still use the word nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes me just think like, okay, so is it because they've listened to American rap or not just rap, but because the word, they connect with African Americans, or because that word was used like that there too? In the UK, I could see it being used there too, like that.
Well,
I haven't looked at it really to start to try to digest it and see, but I hear it and I'm like, yo, for real. And when I look at all of the culture, the culture of Black people, and it's like that elsewhere, I look at it and I'm like, damn, man. I mean, do we just have, we talk about a pandemic. Do we have a worldwide pandemic of Black people of just being tricked into being, not everybody, of course, but a big portion of us being ignorant, being tricked, had this trick knowledge on us across the world.
Right.
Well, yeah, because if you think
in
about
Western
it, right,
civilization, I'll say that. I guess in Western civilization.
Nah, but if you think about it, right, it's take into account. So, for instance, like from where my parents are from in Nigeria, it's the same. The effects of colonization, where in Nigeria we already have tribalism, right? It's not as bad as it used to be, but we still have tribalism where my tribe isn't like your tribe. We think we're better than each other. We don't intermarry and stuff like that. Or that it's not as bad anymore. But then we'll look and then we'll see, they'll call American Black, like they'll, not all of them, but many of them think that they're better than American Black. But then they're here off the backs of American Blacks trying to get in the same industries. And then you, like, I literally have he's not my blood cousin, but this idiot will literally sit here and talk about, Black African Americans, they do this, they do that, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, every day he was smoking weed, not getting a job, he has a kid in Canada, has a kid in London, would go to all the rap clubs and dance to that stuff. And the only time really, I guess, showed his African side was when Afrobeat got hot. And he's, but it's like, bro, you're trying to act just like an African American, and yet you still sit here when we're by ourselves, you try to shit on African Americans. I'm like, dude, you sound stupid. So there's a lot of technology when it comes to how we treat each other. I think and racism in London, I heard is different from racism over here. It's more they would say it's like
subtle,
not ingrained. Yeah, it's subtle. It's more of a class thing than anything else, but it's still there. But I don't think you have white people calling other Black people there, nigga. It'll be more so like, I guess I would say microaggressions. Like you have spots in England where, all right, they are racist. Like they, it is what it is, but it's not the same as if it's just different. So I think the technology, even over there, they look at a lot of them think that African Americans here, they think that we're, beneath them or whatever. But because a lot of them obviously come from the Caribbean, from Africa,
Right.
whatever, like straight from there. But then again, our I want to call it culture, but our styles, or what you want to call it, is so infectious that it permeates to over there, right? So even when they call each other nigga, whatever, it's like they don't look at it as a sign of degradation either. They kind of, I don't know. It's a lot of technology, for lack of a better term, but it's all over. Technology, colonialism, all that stuff has us hating each other, us looking below each other. We, think of this tribal mindset sometimes when Caribbeans or Africans don't mess with each other and don't mess with African Americans. It's a lot of technology, man. A lot of it, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I think the nation of gods and earth have it right. You know what I'm saying? But the execution of it may have some, the execution part of it, to me, has its flaws. Because while you do have people that hold you accountable, there are a lot of people that use a part of what they believe in to live by. But when it's convenient to be the devil, they be the devil. And y'all know, and I don't have to get into like a specific situation, but people will live by a certain thing. Excuse me, live by a certain code or whatever. And then if they feel like, when they get in a situation where they feel like the moral compass is tested, a lot of people fail. You know what I'm saying? And I get into that man, because I want to clarify something. So our culture, like the African American culture, is one that's born in, it's hip hop. It's a culture. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm sorry, it don't have like a fancy name that I could put in a science book. But as far as people that have parents that travel from down south up north and have lived in places like ghettos and projects and stuff like that, they live a different lifestyle, and that lifestyle permeates outwards. And for some reason, people have an attachment to it, not just the way we, talk or wear our pants or rock our shoes and the music we listen to and all of that. It's just it's other stuff that, like, everything that they just draw into it and like it. And then when you see, and it's easy for us to explain the way we live to people around the world because we can do it through our music. So people hear our music and understand what it is that we go through every day. Like, somebody said one time, it's like a jungle sometimes. It make me wonder how I keep from going under. You know what I'm saying? Somebody halfway around the world don't even know this guy, listen to this song, and they're like, well, shit, we going through the same thing over here. You know what I'm saying? So they just like us. So while we might say, how do they catch on to this thing, and how everybody is, I think it's a lot of the way we live is not transposed, but people can understand our plight by the music that we listen to. Just like back in the 70s and 80s, dudes on the West Coast was getting their asses whooped on a daily by the police, and we didn't know until cats from the West Coast started saying that stuff in their music, and it started putting our eyes to that. Like, man, they beating them dudes over there like that, and then dudes come out with videos, and then before you know it, it's a movement. Now it's like everybody is understanding what these dudes go through.
Yeah, nah, and I didn't mean to, say that black people in Africa, in America, are ignorant, but there's a portion of us that have been tricked to live a lifestyle that does not represent us well, and I'm not afraid to, continuously put that out there, because
that's a good point.
I've just been witness to it in my family. Let's put it like that. And when I see it everywhere across the world, I'm like, damn, man. And I was just thinking the other day, like, it's obviously not everybody, but just, have we been tricked worldwide to where people look at us as, an underculture. I don't know. It deserves a bigger conversation. You know what I mean?
Are we really tricked, or some of us just not wanting to address it? Like we know, but prefer not to step up to the plate and do the right thing.
Bro, I think some of us are tricked, man. Not everybody, but some of us, I think, are tricked. You know, tricked into believing that this is who we're supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know. I mean, there's a lot of us that are not, who are entrepreneurs and doctors and lawyers, and live our culture the way we want to live our culture. There's a lot of people. I'm gonna say 80% of us. Then there's a 20% that gets the spotlight, that don't live that righteous culture, that righteous life. You know what I mean? But that gets the spotlight. And I mean, I guess it's like, it's probably like that in every race, but because I just feel it more with our people and see it with our people in places, and I'm just like, come on, man. You know what I mean? And it bothers me. You know what I'm saying? It bothers me. Because every time, because I feel it, in places that I go sometimes and people that I talk to sometimes, I feel it all the time with people that I talk to. I'm always thinking to myself, I gotta represent our people right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I gotta be able to represent our people right to hear. And then I gotta be able to go back to my people and be able to speak and relate to them and translate what I've spoke to and learned here to them.
Hey, that's a dangerous line to walk, man, because
it is.
Because like with me, I have a lot of interactions in corporate America, right? I ain't gonna get into it. It's just my personal thing, right? So I have a lot of interactions in corporate America, man, right? And sometimes I'll be in a room and like 30 people, and I'll be the only African American male. You know what I'm saying? So everything I say is almost as if I'm speaking for an entire race, right? But then when I take that stuff from that meeting and bring it back to our people, I get this weird, I still have to walk this weird line, because it's like, man, you coming back talking like them boys, you know what I'm saying? That Uncle Tom, such and such. And like, bro, it ain't even that. It's they know something and you don't. And I'm bringing it back here to share it. And it's like, you got to kind of walk that line of keep maintaining your respectability, you know what I'm saying, in that corporate setting. And when you come back to, you know what I'm saying, to around my boys or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something, man. Same people who, I remember when I was in elementary school, same type of people, let me say, they'll call me African booty scratcher and talking about, bulu bulu bulu, and those same people, the same people now who are talking about, you need to go back to, they don't even know if they, not saying it's the same exact people, I'm just saying same type of people that they don't even know I'm Nigerian, they couldn't tell. They'll be like, you gotta get back to your roots, man. Like, you don't know about witchcraft and what, you don't do that stuff, man. That's your gods, man. Whereas I noticed stuff like the back of my eye. You know what I mean? And the same people talking about, you got to get woke, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're saying stuff that, like, I knew about since when I was, like, in 5th, 6th grade. It's like, dude, really? Like, so, again, like Sim said, a lot of us, because we don't have knowledge of self, right? A lot of us don't have knowledge of self. So
a lot of us don't.
When we talk about even the music, and, this, I guess, it ties back to music. This is why it's so important to see how music has changed, where anytime a period came in where Black people at least made the attempt to try to find out who they were, to try to have something that's insulated within ourselves, to be like, all right, here's our ideas that I feel like, here's my ideas that I have, this is what I feel, right? Look what happened with the whole Rosenberg thing, right? Where he's literally trying to admonish or come at Jay Electronica, because Jay Electronica is sharing a perspective that many Black people have. And it wasn't even anything going after Jews. It was just saying people, the whole synagogue is saying thing. So I mean, and it is like music is one of the forms, obviously African people, whatever people have always expressed themselves through music. And the trick knowledge is that if we actually found out who we are as people, because many of us will find out we're actually not from Africa. Many of us are actually indigenous to here, indigenous to Europe, indigenous to many parts of the world. I mean, it'd be a lot of chaos. I'm not saying violence or whatever. I'm talking about chaos as in people will try to go back and claim land rights in a certain place. They'll be looking, oh, who am I connected to? Where's my real family from? So again, a lot of technology, because again, black people, think about this. And this is what a comedian said. I think it was Colin Quinn. And he said, him and Patrice were talking, and he explained to Patrice the reason why white people fear black people so much is because if say his people, I think he's from he's Irish. He said if the things that were done to black people were done to Irish people, America would not exist. In terms of there'd be wars and battles every day until things were fixed. So I mean, and it's not even that black people are like that, but it's the fact that so many things have been done wrong to black people. Black people in America are probably the most experimented on people in like the modern century, in terms of, you know, being stripped away from our culture, being stripped away from our people, being told lies through the books, being fed terrible foods, food deserts, and all that stuff. And then the most base level things that get celebrated or pushed, or sorry, the most base things that are so-called in our diaspora of people, I won't even call it culture, diaspora people, are the most degenerate things, right? I mean, let's be honest. Sitting there talking about violence or that stuff, yeah, it may sound good on the track, but it's degenerative, where you're praising killing somebody and blah blah. So, you know, that's why Rosenberg could sit up there. He could parade around and say, hey, yeah, you know, kill it, N-word, do it. Oh yeah, that's my dude. But then you mentioned one thing that says synagogue say that doesn't even come after so-called necessary Jewish people, and it's I'm appalled. So that's what you see, where it's like, you know, when Lord Jamar said it, when he said those people are guests of hip hop, Rosenberg proved it, because, you know, we don't have anything that's ours. We get tricked. We get told lies. We get told to be passive because, hey, don't say the real stuff. Get a paycheck and be happy with the paycheck, rapper. You know, look at the shiny suit era with P. Diddy. Like I said, early 80s, late 80s, 90s, people started to become conscious, Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers. Not say people became, but that music started to get pushed out. X-Clan, they tried to switch from that and do a gangster music, right? Gangster music starts to come in, and you had guys like Gorillaz and the Mist. Yeah, Ice Cube trying to be conscious, right? And you can say what you want about Ice Cube, fair enough. But you have more groups that were so-called gangster who would be trying to preach the conscious stuff, and what they do, shiny suit rap. So I mean, and we don't own the music, we don't own the channels, we don't own the distribution. So the people that control it don't want black people talking about that stuff, because it's gonna scare. Who's the main recipient of rap music, of black music in general? It's not us. It's the middle, middle America, white girl or whatever. You know, they listen to our rap music. So
they're the consumers.
Imagine us playing that; they'll be scared. Their parents will be scared. Oh my gosh, don't play that music that that invigorates black people and energizes them to search out. You know, it's always a fear of us, man. So.
I'm not 100% sure of that, because the people who listen to the most Public Enemy is white people. The people who listen to the most Dead Prez is white people. I remember being at a Dead Prez concert. I forget what song it was, but the white girl is like sitting there next to me, pumping her fist to the same Dead Prez song. And I'm like, and I'm young. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, but JPP, that's you're talking about in total, right? So yes, obviously, if you take the absolute population, the most people listen to rap music, whatever, are white people. Obviously, they make a bigger population, but yeah, they listen to it at high level. I'm talking about the impact where, okay, black people start to, because think about this, right? The whole Malcolm X movie came out, and people started to like, Different World. Look how media was changing, right? Different World came out. You had the Cosbys. You had things trying to paint black people in a different light. And then look at now. We rap about, when was it? I mean, growing up, I never heard about kids drinking lean and popping pills. It wasn't until I got to, I saw white kids in college popping pills. I saw white kids in high school popping pills. But then now look at it now. Black kids are talking about drinking lean. Now these kids are drinking lean. I'm talking about the impact. Not necessarily who listens to it most, but the impact. And for better or for worse, probably more for worse, we're so impacted by the music, but the music is not controlled by us. So that's where it comes back to the technology thing, where it's like we don't control the channels, right? And you have Leo Cohen, who said, yeah, I would sponsor and push an artist who was high off of lean and was an addict. He said that. And it's like, we don't have protections where people be like, you don't hear Jewish people calling each other the H word or the K word or something like that. You don't hear them putting out music like that, but, kill an N word, slash N word, do all this stuff. I mean, let them do it, because that's them. That's how they look at us. So there's a lot of technology, because music is so impactful. Kids are doing Molly and lean now. That's a lot of that comes probably from rap. When the hell were black people big proponents or big users of lean like that? Like, it's, come on, man. Lean and pills. I understand crack, crack, angel dust, coke, but
part of that, you know, just kind of, and I'm gonna go back to you, JJP, in a second. But part of that with the, you know, pills and everything, part of that is more black people growing up in suburban neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Because historically, that's where, you know, pills and all that kind of stuff, you know, it was in the suburban neighborhoods. We were, you know, we had our own things that we were doing, like you're saying, crack and heroin and whatever, right? But in suburban neighborhoods, they was popping pills. But now there's more black kids growing up in suburban neighborhoods, right? And so, you know, those things, you know, it changes.
That's true, but the majority of kids, even if you come to, like, you know, LG projects, but these kids are dead. I mean, even the 5-year-old, those kids don't come from. I understand what you're saying, but it's permeate into the, you know, the so-called hood where kids in New York are zombies now, and it's like, how the hell did you get opiate pills, like, and you mix it with the crush and the lean? It's like, you know, it's like, how the hell did you get this crap? Like, you know what I mean? So, somebody said pills. Yes, pills were always in the city, but I don't think it was as big, because I knew about kids doing
when I'm gonna tell you what,
and Oxycontin in high school. But in high school, early 2000s, I didn't know about people in the hood doing pills like that. Not saying it wasn't prevalent like that. I was responding to D Moore. They said, I don't know, e-pills was always in the city. They were, but when I grew up, you know, we wasn't doing pills, man.
They used to talk about doing ecstasy, so
that true, party drug. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, but even when I grew up, before I even knew, you know, Biggie, like, okay, so, you know, people was talking about doing you know, like in the 90s, but I'm talking when I was growing up in the 80s. I mean, and then, you know, I was a teenager in the 90s. Yeah, like in the 90s, I guess is when it kind of started coming in, at least for me. You know what I'm saying? But I never heard, like, and people that I seen, because I was around people that use drugs, I didn't see them using pills. That's definitely isn't what I seen them using. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I think, you know, I don't know. But Go ahead, JJP.
No, I'm saying I used to hear about the white kids in school taking Adderall and this, that.
Yeah, exactly.
Adderall, oxycodone, Percocet. Wilton High School, man. If y'all want to, I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I laughed when kids from my high school would sit there. I remember one kid was like, I remember his kid's name too. I don't want to say his, screw him. Taylor Stanish, screw him. But I remember when this kid said, there was a class where they were talking about, like, it's like a social something class, not social studies. It was like some stupid class where they were talking about how cities kind of bifurcate money and stuff. Because, you know, in Connecticut, you have like Norwalk, Bridgeport. You got some of these poor neighborhoods. And it's something like Steve Funding. And the kid was like, yeah, but I don't want to give my money to these poor counties or whatever who just use it to buy crack, trying to like laugh. But in my head, I was like, bro, I know more kids who died from drug overdoses in Wilton, Connecticut than I do of my friends back home. I don't have any friends. I only have one friend back home because he had just a tough life. His parents died, so he became alcoholic. But I don't have any friends who are crackheads from New York. But all the kids that came from my school, at the very least, they did whippets, they did lean, they did Molly, Percocets. I had a friend who was selling oxycodone for $30 bucks a pop because his father got injured, couldn't go to work. And I'm like, we get labeled as crackheads because what's put on the TV. Again, technology sim. We get labeled as crackheads because what's put on the TV. But all of a sudden, now you look up, there's an so-called opium epidemic where we have to look at it with care. Right. But when we were so-called on crack, we had the 3 strikes. We had super predators, as they called us. They labeled us all these things. They didn't look at it as a mental issue because they didn't look at us as humans. Now, 90% of every first-time heroin user is a white person, and now I got to handle them with care? Nah, send them to prison just like you sent us. Be fair, because if we're animals, whatever, then those people doing drugs, and I'm being facetious.
But listen, no. Hold
being
up.
facetious.
You're not being
obviously
facetious.
people who are taking drugs in that capacity, obviously, they have mental issues, but we had mental issues back then, and we got treated like animals. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't even say you're being facetious, because now they even changed the name of it. It's not even substance abuse; it's substance misuse. Right now, they even changed the name of it because of who it's impacting. And I'm sorry if there's any Caucasians watching the show, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? Now they changed the name, right? Now they changed the name as substance misuse. You know what I'm saying? Now it's an epidemic, and it has something has to be done. To stop this opioid epidemic. You know what I mean? And now we gotta lighten the senses because we recognize that addiction is a disease. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like that because it's impacting. It's in your house now.
Right? Yeah.
It's in your house, in your backyard. Your kids are doing it. You know what I'm saying? So don't even apologize for that because I witnessed it firsthand.
Oh yeah.
Don't even apologize. I'm being facetious. Don't even, because it's straight up the truth.
Yeah.
My mom's a social worker, bro. I would say she's probably one of the ones that care, because they don't give enough funding for ACS in New York. If anybody's listening, Bill de Blasio, screw you, because y'all don't supply enough. Y'all overwork these people. And it was back in the day where she would be on. They call it the field. And sometimes she would take me on the field where she's visiting people's houses and stuff. Like, it'd be like after school, whatever, right? And she's working there overtime, like speaking to family, and you see how the city, in terms of resources in the 90s, it wasn't there in terms of let's get this lady help or whatever. Right. They probably do a little program, few weeks or however long it was, and spit it right back out. Her kids go right back to her. She's back on smoking crack. You know how many times my mom had to go to the same case until they finally took the kids out the home? You know what I mean? Like, and then you talk about the group homes and stuff. So yeah, again, I agree with you, man. Like, it is, and it goes back to the music thing. When their kids, when they look at rap, again, to Jay Electronica thing, we could talk about shoot 'em up, kill 'em up. I hate an N-word. All this degradation. As long as there's a little dance to it and a little beat they could bop to, they're happy. As soon as Jay Electronica comes on, and Jay Electronica's a deep dude, and honestly, he didn't even go that deep on that song. He didn't go as deep as he could. Right. And all he said was the synagogue saying, which was a line of the Bible. I wasn't even coming after people like Rosenberg. You know what I mean? And then we got to turn that off. We can't play that type of music. Right. Technology, man. Like you said, technology.
Yeah, that's it, man. But listen, man. Hey, it's a good conversation. I hate to end it short. I'd like to go on for another hour talking about it because there's a lot to unpack. But I got to get off.
Yeah, man.
I gotta get
it's one
off.
Of your earlier
man.
shows too, man. Only 12:48.
12:48. Yeah. I know. It's been later shows, but you know, I gotta get off because I gotta get up early so we can try to finish this basketball court, or do some more work on the basketball court. You know what I mean? But we're gonna revisit this conversation though. What'd you say?
Can I get a final thing in before we go? Just real quick, man, about 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, because we're going to revisit this conversation, definitely.
Guillermo said something that was smart and poignant. And don't pat yourself on the back, Guillermo. I'm just saying.
I was ready to smile because I knew there was going to be a caveat, but...
No, you said something that was really smart, and I don't have enough time to get into it, but basically what it amounted to was you gave an example, and I saw an example of the same thing with Sim and Who's Mark on the Kevin Knox show, the one we did for Kevin Knox, about the article. And so my man, instead of appreciating the platform and sticking to the topic that we all want to talk about, my man had went rogue on there and just lost his mind and said something he shouldn't have said. I don't know if you talked to him since, but if Who's Mark looking at this, dog, you need to apologize to my man. You know what I'm saying, about the way you handled that. And you know what I'm saying, and let everybody know that people can have a conversation and a dialogue without everybody being enemies of each other.
Well, so I think there was confusion because I think when Mark said what he said, with the curse. I think he thought he was muted, and he thought he was just saying, "I don't give a f about the article," but not to Sim, because I think even the chat, I don't think he was coming at Sim in that manner. He was just saying like he just thought he was muted, and he said, "I don't give a f about the article," but I don't think he was coming at Sim. So I will at least test that, because I don't think, because everybody in the chat was like, I think that we were laughing because it's like, all right, Sim caught, just like Sim has caught me before, where I'm cursing, but Sim still has me live. So I'll give that to Mark.
It looked like to me that Mark was listening to what Sim was saying.
Oh no, he was, but he was.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is the reason why I took him off, right? Like, there's been time. First of all, with Mark, it's happened mad times. So that's one thing. But like, there'll be times when I'm not having a conversation with you, Guillermo, and then I'll unmute you, and then I'll unmute you at the wrong time. I was having a conversation with Mark. Him and I were having a conversation. And then I unmuted him, and like, he knows we're having a conversation. We're live. I might have muted him for a second, but we're still in the middle of the conversation. And he's like, "Man, F that article." I'm like, "Yo." Right. So I just took him off.
Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? At some point, men gotta respect each other or keep it pushing. That's basically what it is. If you're not gonna respect the forum, keep it pushing.
Yeah. And he'll come back on, and I'll put him back on. I don't have a problem putting him back on there, but I've had to do it mad times because once he start going off the hook,
Right. Hey man, we gotta respect the forum, man. We want it to grow, you know what I'm saying, and we want it to be a certain thing. You can't disrespect it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you love, you don't disrespect it and try to destroy it. If you love it, you try to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And if a man or somebody of age that considers themselves a man don't understand those words, then they probably a boy. You know what I'm saying? Need to be growing up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, give him the benefit of the doubt, because when I've spoken to Mark, even outside of the None But Nick's platform, whatever, Mark respects him. Like, I'm 99.99999% sure, because Mark is a passionate dude, and I think that
and I love who's Mark. Who's Mark is my guy. That's what I'm saying.
I think that he was saying it like, all right, so he wasn't trying to disrespect the platform or even come at Sim. He was just trying to say F the article. But again, yes, I agree. Yes, you're having conversation. He should have been more kind. Just like I have to be more kind. I can't be cursing all the time. And when Sim is like, yo, Guillermo, yo, you did, and I'm like, yo, yeah, F this, F that, yo, if. I got to be more cognizant, and we all have to. But I honestly think that I don't think that Mark was trying to disrespect the platform. I don't think it's coming out. And we were laughing in the chat, me, Kevon, Isaiah, because it's like,
but he disrespected the platform. Whether you was trying or not, man, he disrespected the platform, and he need to apologize to Sim and the people that be here that you know what I'm saying, help support.
And I'm sure, I know, I mean, he's done it before, and I know he will. I know he'll be like, "Yo, my bad, I didn't know I was unmuted." My only thing to him is, if you know me, you will have a conversation. Even if I muted you, if we're having a conversation, we're in the middle of the conversation, be aware of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I could unmute you so that I could speak to you. You know, so you can respond or whatever. Just if we're in the middle of a conversation, be aware of it.
Right.
And he knows that.
That's the point that I'm getting at. Like the Bible say, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Right. That means if you trying to be one thing and you trying to be another, you're gonna have those lapses where you're gonna be unstable. And what Sam and everybody on here, especially Guillermo, want us to be is rock steady. You know what I'm saying? Just if you're gonna say something, if you feel like what you have to say is that important that you're gonna log into the video chat and wait your turn to say something, it's important to you, right? Don't be coming out the mouth all kind of ways. It's just be a man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And Who's Mark is my guy, and I love that dude. He probably my favorite. Sorry, Guillermo. I know you want me to say you, whatever. But Who's Mark is my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Rock Marciano got to go through all this just to be, one of the greatest rappers of all time. It's okay. If he could go through it, then I could go through it. So it's no biggie, man. It's all good, man.
Vanilla.
Salute to Rock.
All right, Sam. We ain't
man. Hey, Guillermo. Hey, Guillermo, man, I seen your comment in the chat
Rock
too,
Marciano, yo. If you listen to Rock, man, salute to you, man. You one of the greatest rappers out right now. You know what I'm saying, man. Marcialago, that was my ish. Salute to you, bro.
Yeah, we just gotta support our guy. We just gotta support our guy, Sim. And listen, and I be saying this stuff over and over. And I think somebody in the chat in the YouTube chat was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing something, I'm trying smooching up the Sim or whatever to coming out the mouth all greasy. I ain't got to do this, dog. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't got to do this. I do this.
Yo, don't talk shit about Big Freezy, man. He was in the Marines. He can snap your neck off. And he's connected with them people, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, he's on that. He's on that one. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't talk to them boys either.
You know, I was just saying you're connected as in powerful. Why? See, Big Free, you can't even have a conversation. Either he brings up some old school person where it's like, yo, yeah, they sampled that from Beethoven, right? You know, I met Beethoven back in like 96. All right, Big Freezy. Or he's about to kill you. So look, Big Freezy, thank you so much.
Guillermo take every opportunity to talk greasy. Guillermo will talk greasy about you.
Yo, don't hurt me, man.
Last word.
Yeah. Hey, peace, brethren. Hey, thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Let me get out of it. And Guillermo, I see what you said in the chat about the court. It's not going to be finished tomorrow.
I'm joking.
It's not going to be finished tomorrow. We're still working on it. You know,
even the way, hold up, Sim, just real quick. You sure you want to make it stone and not what's a proper flat? Because you know your souls, like I play like playing on like what is it? Is it like hard? What do they call it? The hard top, whatever. Is it one that basically like because playing outside when I used to play at Battery Park, it ate at my souls.
Yeah.
Like
now, I mean, it's not. We're not gonna be doing heavy playing out there, but yeah, I'm making it stone because it's gonna connect to other parts of the backyard. So, you know, trying to make it look nice.
Okay.
But you know, it's stone, like patio stone. You know, and it's really just for her to while she's out there. You know, especially for now, while we're waiting we can't get into a gym or anything like that. She can work on certain things. So when college comes, she'll be ready.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
But anyway, I'm gonna be out of here tomorrow night. I'll be on NBK. We're gonna break down. We're gonna talk about Dennis Smith Jr. Should we keep him? Should we dump him? And you know, we're gonna get into that one. I think most people want to dump him, but there'll be some people that want to keep him. We'll see. We're gonna do that tomorrow night, 10:30, man. And Tuesday, we're gonna look at the Knicks and the Pacers, Game 7, 1994. It'll be a good one. But anyway,
that was a Ewing last shot, right?
What'd you say? Yeah, that's when Ewing
Ewing
hit that shot. Yeah, that should be a fun one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right, man. I'm out of here.
All right, peace out, y'all. Peace out, y'all, bro. Peace out, Big Freezy, JJP. Peace out, man.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you. MH, I did see you in the chat. You said the front stoop is growing. Yeah, it's growing, man. It's growing. We're going to keep this thing going so it continues to grow and get bigger and bigger. It'll happen sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen sooner or later. We'll get some, it'll grow. We just got to keep at it and stay consistent, man. And then if it does grow, maybe we can get to the point where we have some people come through and show us some love. We'll see what's going on. But anyway, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back on the Front Stoop Wednesday as usual. Or I don't want to say as usual, but as I did over the weekend, I'll be posting stuff. From now until Wednesday, I'll be posting stuff. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for notifications. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful. A good start to your week. Peace.